The prophet of thought. Open your mind. 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 Open your mind.
Believers.
No, you stay here. I'm in charge.
Do you feel in charge?
I've paid you a small fortune.
This gives you power over me?
Only from T.P.O.T. Media. Open your minds. Open your minds.
House of power. House of power. House of power. House of power.
And so a community is where you control your police, you control your commerce, you control your education, you control your house. We don't control none of that. We live in a hood. Huh? Well, what about the Negroes that get out? Oh, well, say, my cousin, they say he's a multi-millionaire, almost got $1 billion.
The problem of thought
3 PhDs and working on 2 more. Driving down the street in Chicago in his Rolls Royce, enjoying himself, and he hears these sirens and looks through the mirror and sees this cop car flashing lights. He squeezed the steering wheel, man. Heart beats fast. Because he knows the plight of a Negro, what it could be. And then when that cop car passed him by, he said, thank God he wasn't after you in the first place, punk. That Negro thing you can't get away from. It's universal. They wasn't coming after you. With all your millions, with your Rolls Royce, with your PhD, didn't help. That's the hood. Why do you think you never pick up the paper 3D over and over and see white families travel? You think there's thousands of black cops in America. Why don't you see white families crying as black cops got my loved one 42 times in the back of the head? Why do you think black cops don't do that? You think they're more spiritual? Think they're better? No! They got enough sense to know that white folks ain't gonna tolerate it. And I will stop in our neighborhood when we decide we will not tolerate it. Now, if we was organized, which is hard to organize people who are just gonna run crazy and you don't know you're crazy. But if we were, with the money we have, and the many people who would come to our aid that don't know what it's like to be a Negro, and we said, if we said, look, we saying if we don't get a federal law to deal with police brutality, that any time a cop or anybody carry a gun, have to have a license just like you do to drive a car. And if you use it wrongly, you'll lose your license. And if it's upheld, you can never work again as a cop or a store guard or a private detective. How do you get Congress to push that through? Well, you take your economic power and you call on your friends, black, white, young and old, and say, this coming Christmas, if we don't have a federal law to outlaw police brutality by law, then we calling for a nationwide boycott of Christmas and it'll start on Thanksgiving. Well, let me tell you what that means. 79% of all retail in America happens between Thanksgiving and Christmas. People stay in business all year, lose money just for Christmas, huh? Well, what happens now? Sac Fifth Avenue, Toys R Us, Sears and Roebuck, Westinghouse. They will get the bill, and all they got to do is make one phone call and say, Harry, that's the senator, I want that bill pushed through in 3 days. Okay, it's an economic thing. It's that simple. But we have the power, but the system has wiped us out so bad.
Hours of power. Hours of power. Hours of power.
Santana Lincoln 6. Go ahead. Clear suspect down 10-4. That's 10-4. The officer's code 4. We have one suspect that's been shot.
Open your mind. And peace, folks. Welcome back to another edition of the Popular Thought series right here on the old T.P.O.T YouTube page. I'm your host, X, of course, but you knew that already. That's why your black asses are here. Tonight, boy, I got a good throwdown for y'all tonight. Boy, I got a good one for y'all tonight. Tonight, we'll be squaring off. The village arsonist is in the house, and he will be squaring off against Brother Fantastic. And y'all see the stream down there. It says, is racism still relevant in 2021? This is our first league debate of the new year. I know we haven't been doing anything, man, for like the last 3 weeks. I actually went on like almost 2-week vacation with wifey. So, you know, I just got back last week, y'all. And when I got back last week, I decided not to do anything. So, you know, but we right back at it this week, man. And y'all know we're going to be coming through with some good shit for y'all in 2021. But tonight, like I said, this is the first throwdown of the new year, and it ought to be a good one. But like always, just because it's 2021, some things do not change. I always start the show off with thanking you, good folks, for your likes, your shares, your subscriptions, and of course, your hard-earned pennies, nickels, dimes, quarters, and 50-cent pieces. Because you don't have to do it, folks. You don't. All right. I said it all of 2020, and I'll be saying it in 2021 too. You don't have to do it, but you good folks choose to do so. And I want you to know, man, that I don't take it lightly. I appreciate you good folks, man. I'm humbled. I'm honored. I'm thankful. I'm appreciative of all of you, man. The support you gave this channel, man, in 2020 is phenomenal. And I know that this channel is growing, and it will continue to grow because of the good people who hang out there and the good people who hang out in here. All right. So I just want y'all to know, man, that I appreciate all you good folks. All right. All right. But before we get started, I do got one other programming note before we kick it off. Folks, tomorrow, we're going to have a special guest in the house, the one and only George Macon will be here tomorrow. That's right. And we're going to be chopping it up, man. I have a lot of respect for Brother Macon, man. I do. I watch a lot of his stuff. just subscribed to another one of his channels. I didn't realize he had more than one channel. Y'all need to get on down there and check old brother Making Out. He will be right here tomorrow. We'll be throwing down 9 p.m. Eastern time right here on the T.P.O.T YouTube page, So y'all make sure you have your black behinds here tomorrow. All right, catch brother Making in here chopping it up. But tonight we are throwing down with my brother, Mr. Fantastic, and the Village Arsonist. So let me go ahead and bring in my folks without further delay. Brother Fantastic, brother TVA, what's good with it, brothers?
What's going on, man? Thank you for having me on, brother. What's going on, Fantastic?
You got it, man. What's going on, X?
What's good with it, brother Fantastic, man? Been a while, man. Been a while since you've been up here, man.
Been a minute, man. Been a minute.
Oh, yeah, man. You know, it's always good to have you here, brother. And y'all know X does a horrible job of keeping time on these debates. So, of course, I had to enlist the T.P.O.T official timekeeper, none other than my brother. Brother T.P.O.T is in the house. Oh, yeah. Get on down there and check my brother out. T.P.O.T, man. Yeah. Brother KIT, what's good with it, man?
What's good? What's good? What's happening? How y'all doing?
What's good with it, man?
I'm chilling.
What's going on, man? Love your content, brother.
Oh, appreciate it. Yeah.
Man. Get on down there and check my brother T.P.O.T out, man. Because if you don't, y'all already know what I'm going to do, right? I'm going to haunt your black ass mama in her dreams. So if you don't want me to do that, get on down there and check out my brother KIT. He do some good shit down there. I be watching him. But yeah. So we're gonna throw down. We are agreed on the topic, right? Is racism still relevant in 2021? I will make the assumption that brother Fantastic says no, and brother TVA says yes. Am I correct in that assumption?
Yes, indeed.
All right. So we know if you are the anti, you will be going first. So, brother Fantastic, you will be starting us off. Let me go ahead and throw down the rules, y'all. I know everybody here already knows them, but for those of you out in the nosebleed seats who may not know what they are, let me explain them to you briefly. We start off with 7-minute opening rounds where each debater lays down their premise. Then, after the opening round, we go into the rebuttal rounds. Those rounds are 5-minute per debater. We do that a couple times. Then we go into something called rapid fire, where the brothers will square off mano, no clock, no nothing. Then after rapid fire, we go into something called the closing statements, and then we will take a poll. Then after that, we will go for some questions out of the audience. And remember, those questions must be super chatted, because if they're not, I will not read them. All right. And tonight we will be suspending the rules. Brothers can have at it. The only thing I ask of the brothers is whatever ad hominem attacks that you have, please save them for rapid fire. That will be the round. You can use the ad hominems and talk about hairlines and noses and all that kind of shit. All right. I would ask that you brothers refrain from the ad hominems until the rapid fire round. But other than that, all the rules are suspended. There is no, there will be no penalty for profanity or anything like that. So tonight we're going at it with the old T.P.O.T YouTube page rules. So let me get the clock up on the board. Timekeeper, 7 minutes on the clock. Brother Fantastic, you leading us off, man. Opening statements. Pull the trigger.
You on mute, Fantastic. If you're talking,
you're muted, Fantastic.
I'm gonna start as soon as I hear you going.
Rookie mistake, man. Appreciate you, bro.
Go ahead, you got it.
Appreciate you, T.P.O.T, man. Always good to be back. It's like my second home away from home. We gonna get into this thing, man. Again, everybody coming up, so why not me? Why not? Why not me? Why not Cam up? All right, cool. So, funny thing about it, man, you guys know I came into this space, and one of the biggest issues and problems I've been hearing from the black community, the black people, especially black men, is racism, racism, racism. Racism is not the issue and problem with black people. It hasn't been for a while. And back on July 14th of this year, and actually this was a recycling of something I did years back, a revision pretty much. I actually made an Instagram post on my personal page, and I listed 10 things that were more important than white people or racism. Number 1 was abortion. Number 2, black men not being respected in the black community. Number 3, black women controlling the households. Number 4, not understanding economics. Number 5, no respect for authority. And number 6, no established culture. Number 7, sexual irresponsibility. Number 8, discouraging intelligence. Number 9, street hood mentality, celebration, worship. And number 10, no code or standard across the board as a people. So all these things, I have a 10 list, and I could even throw in possibly 2 to 3 more that would be far more important and more impactful than the effects of racism in 2021, as to where a black person has any and every legal right that a white person has. Every American citizen has protected rights under the law that if and when they are actually not suspected, not felt like, not imagined being taken away or being infringed upon, you can go to your nearest court of law and file charges to get those things rectified through civil and possibly criminal penalties. Okay. We heard this whole talk come back up because of here recently. We know the election that is now over. One of the number one things that was touted to and advertised to black people was about racist. The current administration is racist. He's racist. Again, though, if you actually look back into the actual administration that won, they had literal KKK ties. Okay, they are actually, but we're not going to get into that because again, I'm not finna lose my job over telling the truth. But either way, when we start breaking this thing down, man, it's so elementary, it's ridiculous. Racism should not be coming out of the mouth of any black man that has the ability to take care of himself, get out here and work, be a man, set manly standards, set the example, and get a group of people, like-minded individuals with him to come together as a team, develop power, and then spread that power out amongst the race of black people. It's just so many things, man, that we can fix on our own that is completely, totally separate from white people. White people have no effects whatsoever about the abortion rate in the black community. White people have no effect whatsoever about the single mother rate in the black community. White people have no say whatsoever in the black on black crime rate amongst the community. And mind you, I purposely left that one out of the list I put because if and when you say that true thing, it triggers a lot of black people. And that I just didn't feel like having that energy. But that would definitely be number 11, 12, and 13 as to where when a black person does not value another black life, why are we even talking about white people? Until we can get the point of where we have respect and understanding and value for each other, I don't see how we can bring another race of people into it. Because again, we have become the same races that you're talking about. No racist in the last, I don't know how many years has killed more people than black people. What about Chicago? And it's not just Chicago. What about New York now? What about Indianapolis? What about Baltimore? What about Atlanta? All these things this is not my opinion. This is proof. This is provable. You can go look it up and look up the stats and data as to where black people, even though we are outnumbered 6 times by white people, have a higher murder rate per year than they do. That's utterly ridiculous. Where's the white man? Where's the racism in that? Oh, well, they drop. Okay, even if they supposedly drop the guns in the hood, they drop the guns, the drugs in the hood. Who told you to shoot them? Who told you to smoke them? We got to have some level and develop personal responsibility and stop being irresponsible and blaming other people for issues that we can handle ourselves. When we keep having this conversation about racism in 2021, okay, where you still have black people who have a $1.3 trillion spending power per year, but yet still we're the highest poverty level. You have Mexican individuals, bro, sending $30 billion per year back to Mexico. 30 billion. That's not counting the money they still have left over. These same Hispanics are coming into these black neighborhoods and they're buying up properties while all black people are forever renting. Black people are still now projected to be a permanent underclass within the next 30 years. But all of us know because of the current economic downturn and the government shutdown, that's been sped up by who knows how many years. And even more so, if and when this debt bubble pops, how that's going to speed it up also. So again, man, what my opponent is not going to be able to do is give anything other than emotional, anecdotal, and good old 60s, 70s slavery, Jim Crow answers to as why racism is still a factor in 2021 when he is a grown black man just like me, and racism hasn't stopped me or him from getting on the white man's internet and having this debate today. I see my time.
All right. I guess we can go ahead and put 7 minutes on the clock, unless you want that 10 seconds, brother TVA. Brother TVA?
No, I'm good.
All right, 7 minutes on the clock. You got it. You are up, sir. Pull the trigger.
All right, so basically, Fantastic is not going to be able to come at me like he usually comes at the other people, because I'm not coming from their perspective. I'm not coming from the B1 perspective. I'm not coming from the blame the white man perspective. I'm not coming from the pro-black perspective. That's not the perspective I'm coming from. I'm coming from a true black conservative perspective. Okay, which means when I say that I believe in the Constitution, that means I believe in the Constitution. I support the Constitution. Okay, that means that I can acknowledge the effects that black dysfunction has on our current state. I completely agree with Fantastic when he says that black people have a lot to do with where we are. I agree with you. I don't agree with blaming white people for all of our problems. The topic of the debate is racism still relevant in 2021? That's the topic. The topic is not, is it all the white man's fault? The topic is not, are black people to blame? The topic is racism still relevant? So my question is it possible to do both? Is it possible to actually be consistent? Is it possible to actually be a person of principle? Is it possible to say on one hand, yes, black people are fucking up. Yes, we have lots of problems. And at the same time, also acknowledge the effects that racism have on us every single day in this country. One example, 2006, FBI report. And I'm going back for a reason. This is a Republican administration 2006 FBI report. Admits that we have a problem with violent white supremacist organizations infiltrating law enforcement agencies around this country. Now, Fantastic is instantly probably going to say, not all cops are bad. Oh, most black people aren't killed by cops. What the fuck is your point? Does that mean we need to ignore the problem of taxpayer-paid government agents gunning down innocent, unarmed people because it has yet to outnumber when they do it to each other? No. How about we acknowledge the problem of black people mowing each other down in these inner cities, and we also acknowledge what the fucking government will admit. Now, everyone in this room knows the Federal Bureau of Investigation has no history of being a friend to black people. So are any of you niggas going to come and tell me that the FBI is lying? Again, Obama is nowhere in sight, and that's the reason why I went to 2006, because you can't blame Obama and the deep state and all that bullshit. Obama is irrelevant in 2006. So please explain to me how the Federal Bureau of Investigation under a Republican administration saw fit to come out and admit that we have a serious problem in the United States with violent white supremacists infiltrating law enforcement agencies around this country. Now, as a real conservative, not a fake one like Fantastic, I care about this. See, I can call myself a black conservative because I actually care about citizens' rights being violated. This nigga will sit up here and justify what happened to George Floyd and call himself a black conservative. How? How do you call yourself a black conservative that goes by the Constitution, but you give police officers judge, jury, and executioner rights right there in the middle of the street? That's not what the Constitution reads. You're a fucking fraud. Racism is relevant right now in 2021, and even the white so-called conservatives that you kiss ass to, they will admit to this problem. The Harvard Business Institute will admit to the problem of hiring discrimination in this country. I have links, and I'm going to post them when it's your turn. Brother X, I don't know if I'm able, if you can mod up that nick that I have in the chat so I can post links when it's his turn. I'm going to post links to what I'm saying. Racism is a problem. This is a problem. Is black dysfunction a problem? Yes. But why is it that in order to call yourself a black conservative, you have to ignore shit like white supremacists being in police departments? And I brought this up in an earlier debate. So-called black conservatives like Fantastic will say that he supports the First Amendment, right? But then Fantastic came out against Kaepernick, and you did not call out your white conservative buddies and their hypocrisy in that situation. They whine, bitch, and complain about how people are censored, but then the president of the United States called for this man to be fired for taking a knee. That is a literal violation of the very first fucking amendment. How are you a true conservative? How are you a true black conservative and you don't call out when the president of the United States calls for a private citizen to be fired for having a political opinion? You are a fucking fraud. And your fellow white conservatives, most of them, they're full of shit too. They don't actually support that Constitution. They don't actually support the rights of American citizens. They only support certain citizens having the right to do certain things. See, niggas like Fantastic will tell you that you need to do step A, B, C, and D when you get pulled over to keep your black ass face from getting blown the fuck off. But I can show you video after video. Again, I will post links. White men waving knives around, coming in, surviving. White men waving guns around, coming in, surviving. There is a video of two white men in Dearborn, Michigan, chest rigs, AR-15s, pistols ready to fucking go. They walk into a police station because they were pissed off about being pulled over earlier, and they're still alive. But Fantastic will tell your black ass that if you dare to question the police officer on why you were pulled over, you deserve to be shot. It's bullshit.
All right, that's going to conclude the opening statement. So now we're going to go into the rebuttal round. We left off with Brother TVA. Brother Fantastic, you are up, sir. Pull the trigger. Rebuttal round.
All right. So it's news to me that I'm a conservative. I don't know how many times I've said I have no political affiliation whatsoever. I'm not a conservative. I'm not a liberal. I'm not a progressive. I'm not a libertarian. I am apolitical. I don't claim to be anything. I have my own personal philosophies about how things are supposed to work as far as the government goes, but I do not claim any political ideology or party. I do not. First off, secondly, again, I tried to keep count of how many times you said white people, and turning them into like this big bad wolf, like the bad guy, like their fault, their fault, their fault. You did exactly what I was going to say. We have a very emotional response to everything that you were talking about, and where it's this big bad white guy. But again, I'm glad you brought up the FBI. I don't know how and why you skipped all the way back to 2006, which, okay, I mean, this would have been a great point, to being that we just got rid of a 4-year Republican Party. I don't know why you would not use 2019, but I'm going to help you out. I'm going to share my screen just for that purpose. Okay, can you share my screen, X, please? Put my screen up. There we go. Thank you. So again, this is a math thing, bro. This is not anything to do with race. I'm a mathematical guy, and the facts of the matter is this: you could go the Martin Luther King, an injustice anywhere is an injustice everywhere route, but that's emotional. When we get down to the numbers, everything you're talking about just does not add up. The amount of black people killed by black people, you see right here, that says 2,906. Now I'm going to use this other one. See Statista for the same year, 2020. You see that right there, 2020. Okay, the red. Let me see if I can just get the red. Also, now let me eliminate everything but the red. So we'll do 2019. There we go. No, 2020. That's what it was. So everyone. So 2020 was 226 black people killed by police officers. Is more than twice, or almost more than twice, white people killed. And that's in correlation with when you look directly back at these numbers right here. Again, there are 6 times more white people in this country than black people, yet and still you have black people only trailing behind 300, sir. 300. That's like a 10th, okay, of the fucking murders that you had come from black people against other black people. So when you get emotional and you keep blaming the big bad white man and these what do you say? White supremacist police officers. Okay, if there were every one white racist white supremacist police officer, you'd only have 226, brother, out of the millions of police officers that are in this country. That's less than 0.1%, bro. Okay, so tell me when 0.1% matters. Tell me when in your life you're worried about the less than 1%. No one does, bro. No one does. If I had 1% missing out of my paycheck, I would not even know it. If I had 1% of my fries out of my box at McDonald's, I would not even know it, as you would not. Okay. So again, what you're doing is reinforcing and proving my point that this is emotional, brother. You are being extremely, extremely emotional, and you're not bringing any facts. The facts of the matter is this: white people are not even in the top 10. You have yet to give me any numbers or any support to show that. Again, I haven't even gotten to the abortion numbers yet, okay? Haven't even gotten to the abortion numbers yet. When we do the abortion numbers again, how many white people have killed black people in comparison to the aborted fetuses? Okay, the black women who by choice choose to kill the children they irresponsibly have, where they could just go out and buy a box of condoms or go get birth control. So again, brother, I'm gonna need you to start providing me, as I have, with some types of facts and data, and not just emotional rhetoric, man. Okay, this is not the 60s. This is not the 50s. This is not the 40s. This is 2021. I need you to give me concrete evidence in 2021, not talking this political stuff. Why would racism even have to be political? You're making a totally another argument with something I never even claimed to be. I don't give a damn about white liberals or white conservatives. And as far as you said too, you obviously don't understand the First Amendment, because the president has the right to suggest whatever he wants to suggest under the same First Amendment. So you're even failing in that, sir. If you're going to say freedom of speech, just like Colin Kaepernick had the right to do his thing, people have the right to not like it and complain about it. And that's perfection right there. I concede my time.
All right. 5 minutes on the clock. Brother TVA, you are up, sir. Pull the trigger.
Okay, so I guess he's going to pretend like he doesn't see the links. I just posted the Harvard Business Review report Hiring discrimination against Black Americans hasn't declined in 25 years. Harvard Business Review report. Race is often at the forefront of American conversation as has lately emerged with new urgency around discussions of policing, immigration, First Amendment rights, and even professional football. And yet, even as we are confronted with dramatic examples of ongoing racial tensions, most white Americans remain convinced that race is no longer central to one's opportunities in life. Polling data shows that many believe these lingering conflicts represent the actions of a few bad apples and aren't in sync with the larger trend towards systemic racial equality. Now, I posted this for two reasons. One, because of that Harvard Business Review report stating that hiring discrimination against Black Americans has not declined. But secondly, I'm going to post another link when I get off. Discrimination against whites, according to the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, the majority of white Americans believe that discrimination against whites has increased. That's what they're saying. This is what they believe. And I notice people like you don't call them out when they say stupid shit like that. Now, you mentioned the FBI report. They actually released more information on this report, some information that was redacted that actually helps their claims. Subcommittee Chairman Raskin releases FBI document on white supremacists and law enforcement, September 29th, 2020. Today, Representative Jamie Raskin, the chairman of the Subcommittee on Civil Rights and Civil Liberties, released an unredacted version of the 2006 intelligence assessment by the Federal Bureau of Investigations entitled White Supremacist Infiltration of Law Enforcement. Previously redacted portions of the document made public for the first time today reveal startlingly prescient FBI warnings about the potentially dangerous effects of infiltration of law enforcement bodies by violent white supremacist ideas, attitudes, and organizations. This is the Federal Bureau of fucking Investigation, the same fucking source that he just fucking used. The FBI, the same fucking FBI that he just got his numbers from. Well, you know, black people out here killing each other, black people. That has nothing to do with what the fuck my point is. I just admitted to that, sir. What the fuck is your point? I just fucking see. I told you, you can't come at me from that angle, dude. I'm not gonna get up here and ignore black dysfunction. That's not my point. My point is, you can also acknowledge that there is a problem with racism in this country today. Is my argument that it's keeping us from progress? Is my argument that it's keeping us from wealth and success? No. But if you have violent fucking white supremacists infiltrating law enforcement agencies around this country, and you have the FBI admitting to this, an organization that has no fucking history of being biased towards the interests of Black Americans, even they come out under a Republican administration and admit this. And in 2020, congressmen are still coming out with this report, more information in this report. Why? Because it is still fucking relevant. No one is going back and saying this report has gotten better. No one is saying that this problem has gotten better. They went back and released more information on the report because this problem is still a fucking problem. It doesn't matter if it's only 200, Mr. Constitutional. And by the way, you've called yourself a conservative, dude. You're running away from it now. You're a Trump supporter. You support conservative ideals. You've said it in many of your videos. You've called yourself that, dude. Stop running away from it now, okay? Bottom line is, if you're this constitutionalist that you claim to be, which I've heard you say that you believe in rights and civil rights and all this other shit, okay, well, then it doesn't matter if it's only 5. If you have a problem with violent white supremacists infiltrating law enforcement agencies, violating the rights of American citizens, that is a fucking problem. It doesn't matter if it's 5 or 200, but it must be a big problem if the fucking FBI saw fit to come out with a report about it. It's relevant.
All right, that's going to be time. I think we're going to do one more rebuttal round, brothers. Then we're going to go right into rapid fire. And to my audience, hit that goddamn like button before I come to every one of your damn houses right now. Hit the damn like button, god damn it. Brother Fantastic, you are up, sir. Pull the trigger.
So again, I don't know if the my opponent can't read or if he can't comprehend. Is racism still relevant in 2021? He referred to a report that was reported in 2020, but still referred back to 2006. I think you taking build a time machine, nigga, too literal, brother. Why are we jumping back 15 years? The debate is about today. Because if we do the time machine thing, man, it'll be even like worse for you. But again, you're proving my point by you keep referring back to 2006, brother. I need you to come to now, catch up, okay? All right, catch up today, all right, and give me some type of actual documentation, some kind of actual numbers to say that we're today. All the things you're talking about, these big bag scary white supremacists are so prevalent and so relevant to the lack of progress to black people. It's just not there. I'm gonna say the list for you again, brother. All right, and this time I'm gonna start it out with, okay, again, abortion, number 1, black on black crime, number 2, black men not being respected, number 3, black women controlling the households, number 4, no understanding of economics, number 5, no respect for authority, number 6, no established culture, number 7, sexual irresponsibility, number 8, discouraging intelligence, number 9, street hood mentality, celebration, worship, number 10, number 11, no standard or code across the board. And again, number 12, we're going to look at this just now because you want to bring up the election and former President Trump, no understanding of politics. Again, you're up here arguing with me about racism in 2021 when racism is what has just pretty much made black people a permanent underclass, or at very least a minority behind a smaller minority of the alternative lifestyle group, brother. So what you should be doing versus worrying about what the white man is doing, well, now you need to be worried about what, you know, the not all right man is doing, okay? That is the person that's going to be holding you back and having more of an effect on your ability to move around and get opportunities than any white supremacist is, bro. And you can't, let's not forget about the what? 100,000 H-1B visas waiting for immigrants that's coming into the country, guaranteed jobs before they even get here. The however many tens of thousands of immigrants that they're planning on flooding into this country and being allowed to take jobs and opportunities away from you again. So again, how is racism the point in what's the name, man? What the hell is going on right now? This makes no sense. This makes no sense whatsoever. So I'm just trying to figure this shit out. What the hell? What? Oh, my bad. All right, cool. So I'm trying to figure out how and why. What the fuck is going on right now? What the hell? Oh shit! Hold on, wait. I gotta mute. My bad. I had what's the name muted, so it came back up. But either way, what was that? Oh yeah. So all these things that are literally enemies at the gates. Where are they, white people? Where are the white people at? We got LGBT community. We got immigrants that are coming from, you know, Mexico and southern, central Southern America. And we got Indians and H-1B visas and all these other things. On top of that, we have the economic crisis that's looming over that we still don't know what's going on. We still have the highest poverty level in the country. So again, where is white supremacy in this, man? I need some type of real explanation and not just these excuses. I need you to say something other than 2006. The debate clearly says, I'm going to read it to you again, my brother. Is racism still relevant in 2021? So that means you need to be giving me some type of source, some type of information that's relevant to today. I would even accept 2020. But everything you gave, and I even made sure I said that in the chat, brother, the thing you posted said 2017. That's not 2020 or 2021. The thing you talked about the FBI did with the redactions, the information they admitted was a reference to 2006. The debate is about 2021, but I'm willing to accept 2020. You are being emotional. You are one of these obsessed people with racism and white supremacy as for your being a failure or black people being failures. That is not acceptable behavior of men. Responsible men don't blame other people for them not being able to do the things they should be doing, man. I need you to catch up with today. And again, why are you reposted the same? Oh, that's the same article. My bad. I scrolled up. But either way, that's my time.
All right. 5 minutes on the clock. Brother TVA, you are up, sir. Pull the trigger.
Go, hang on. Let me post this link. First off, I like that we want to play games in that like 3 years, man. It 2007. Oh, okay, fine, dude. I'll give you 2020. Fine. Here we go. All right, let's read along. Hang on a second. I wanted to post the link. Experts warn oversight subcommittee that white supremacist infiltration of law enforcement poses a threat to cops and communities. September 29th, 2020. Who are the experts on this panel? Well, some of the experts: Mike German, a former FBI agent who completed multiple undercover missions within white supremacist groups, explained the importance of tackling this issue as an urgent matter of national fucking security. September 29th, 2020, you have former FBI agents right now that infiltrated these organizations. They infiltrated these groups. They saw the problem firsthand, and they are sitting here telling you it is still a fucking problem. Again, you're coming at me at the wrong angle. You're not refuting any of my points. I don't need to refute your point, sir, because I agree with your point in that black dysfunction is a fucking problem. You keep bringing up black on black crime. Is it a problem? Yes. That's not the fucking topic, sir. The topic is racism still relevant in 2020? What in the entire fuck does black on black crime have to do with racism? You are not on fucking topic, bro. I'm on topic. I've been on topic. You cannot touch my points. You can't refute my points. I just gave you an article. I just gave you a report. I'm giving you experts from 2020. They're telling you that violent white supremacists infiltrating law enforcement agencies is still a problem now. So, is racism still relevant in 2020? Yes. Is it to blame for all of black people's problems? No. Now, the people that disagree with me, well, you have a bit of a problem here. Because if the FBI is not credible, then his numbers aren't credible. We're coming from the same fucking source. We're both coming from the FBI. So his nut huggers in the chat, if you disagree with me, you're going to have to disagree with him. If you're throwing my source out, you have to throw out his source. We're coming from the same fucking source. And my source is saying that racism is still relevant. Your source, our source, my source is also saying that black on black crime is a problem. I don't disagree with that. That's not the fucking topic. The topic is racism still relevant in 2021? My argument is yes. My prime example is the FBI telling you that here today you have violent white supremacist groups infiltrating government agencies, and not just police departments, sheriff departments, military, their correctional facilities. They're infiltrating all sorts of government agencies. It says it right there in the report. The reason why we're talking about the 2006 report is because it's still a problem, fantastic. That's the whole fucking reason why they went back and released the redacted information, because the report is still fucking relevant in 2021. Why? Because racism is still relevant in 2021. Now he's going to get up here and say I was emotional, whatever. He's going to get up here and say, I'm blaming the white man. No, that's wrong. That's incorrect. You can keep saying it. That's not where I stand. I don't believe in blaming white people for all of our problems. I believe in blaming black people for black dysfunction for the most part. But do you blame black people for skinheads and infiltrating police departments? Do you blame black dysfunction for violent white supremacists infiltrating government agencies? If we're going to talk accountability, let's talk it for both. Let's talk about accountability for black dysfunction. But how the fuck are you going to blame us for this shit? I'm going to post the link again.
All right. We are about to go into rapid fire. Rapid fire will not be clocked. We're going back to the old rules. But audience, I got 106 of you good folks in here, but I only got 74 on the likes. Can we get the likes up? Come on, let's get the likes up to at least 100, man, before I have to do like Brother Obsidian be doing. Said me, I'm not going to play no polka. I'm going to play some country western. I'm going to play some classical. I'm going to play some bullshit I know y'all don't like. Play some of that gothic music. You know them gothic people, they have the black the big black magic mark around their eyes and have the black hair and they dress in all black and shit and they look like they dead. I'm going to start playing some of that shit if the damn likes do not start to go up. So come on. Go ahead and get the rapid fire board ready. While the good folks in the audience get me to 100 likes. Damn Negroes. Come on. Don't make me start playing my damn my gothic music. Let's get them up there. Y'all can do it. Damn black people. All right. So everybody knows how rapid fire goes. We left off with Brother TBA. So Brother Fantastic, pull the trigger. You are up, sir. This is rapid fire. Let's go.
All right. Again, man, I don't know if this dude is blind or he's slow. He's on the short bus or what.
I see your numbers. They don't matter.
Bruh.
They don't refute my points. What does black on black crime have to do with my FBI report, bro?
Again, bro.
Let's explain.
Okay, well, if you shut the hell up, I can explain it to you. So it clearly says in the thing you're saying, it keeps referring back to the same 2006 thing.
Because it's still a relevant problem.
No, it's not.
That's what the report says. You got to read. Okay, let me read it again. Let me read it again.
Bro.
Let me read it again. Hang on. No. Let me read it again. Experts warn oversight committee that white supremacist infiltration of law enforcement poses a threat to cops and communities. September 29th, 2020. The fuck are you talking about? They're referring to the 2006 report because the problem is still around.
No, it's not. They're referring to the fucking shit, you idiot. Just like they referred to motherfucking JFK when they were.
Let me read it one more time for the people in the back.
You can keep reading it.
Because this nigga can't hear. Experts warn oversight subcommittee that white supremacist infiltration of law enforcement poses a threat to cops and communities. September 29th, 2020.
Okay, so
they don't even reference the 2006 report until later on.
But again,
because the problem is still around.
The only reason the words are there is because the redacted fucking report came out, you fucking idiot. Oh my fucking God, bro. You keep trying to die on this.
Why did they bother going back for the redacted information? Why did they even bother? Because the problem is still here.
About fucking white supremacy.
Are you claiming the report is false? Are you claiming the report is false?
Tell me what the fucking white man did to you, man. Where did he hurt you? Where did the big bad white man touch you? Show us on the ball.
Here we go with the trolling. Here we go with the trolling. I'm talking about American citizens' rights being violated.
But you're not going to be able to do
investigation, the same source you went to. You went to the FBI for your numbers. Did you not go to the FBI for your numbers?
You're not
going to the same damn source. The same FBI is stating that there is a problem and it is still around.
Families, black sexual irresponsibility.
Black families ain't got
black
shit to do
age
with none
rate.
of that.
So tell me how. Wait. So
Black families doesn't have shit to do with this FBI report.
Smart guy. Tell me how the white supremacists gave niggas AIDS. Go.
AIDS ain't got shit to do with this FBI report.
Well, it's white supremacy. Well, no,
AIDS doesn't have shit to do with white supremacists. And where you stuck at, this is not some hotep coming up with this conspiracy shit. This is FBI.
It is.
Your same source, bro.
Again,
so where you coming from?
Same source, but you're not giving the fucking context. Furthermore, when you
let me read it again for the people in the back.
I know
because if he can't hear, I know y'all can't hear. Experts warned oversight subcommittee that white supremacist infiltration of law enforcement poses a threat to cops and communities. This was put out in September 29th, 2020.
In the fucking reference, in the quarter of fucking reference.
You wouldn't take 2020 else. You wouldn't take 2006. You wouldn't take 2017. You said you take 2020. I just gave you 2020. That's less than 6 months ago. That's less than 6 months ago. So this problem has been fixed in 6 months.
That was still about 2006. They did not give you a report from fucking 2008, 2010, 2017, or 2019.
They bring up the report because the problem is still here. The report is saying that.
So again, what I'm going to tell you is this. When you say something is a problem, brother, let me help you out.
Mike German, former FBI agent who completed multiple undercover missions within white supremacist groups, explained the importance of tackling this issue now. Tackling this issue now in 2020.
The problem you used to is extra bacon or no bacon, but let me help you out for real life, real issue.
Here we go with the trolling. You guys can say what you want about me. I'm sticking to the argument. Mike German, former FBI agent who completed multiple undercover missions within white supremacist groups, explained the importance of tackling this issue as an urgent matter of national security.
I need you to name the things that white supremacy is more important than for the black community.
Name the thing. What you talking about?
Abortion. I'm gonna give you this.
Abortion ain't got shit to do with what I'm talking about. I don't believe white people force us to get abortions.
So white.
Nice straw man. Nice straw man. I never said that white people make us get abortions. I never said that. I never said that. What I'm talking about is white supremacists infiltrating law enforcement agencies. And this is what the FBI is saying. Your same source. You just went to the same source I did and got your numbers. So what you got?
You late, bro. You late. You got to catch up. I know you want to go back to 2006.
I'm caught up. We're using the same damn source.
So
I use FBI, you use FBI.
You are not.
I use FBI, you use FBI. What you got?
Do this for real. But anyway, I'm gonna ask you again.
Mike German, former FBI agent who completed multiple undercover missions within white supremacist groups, explained the importance of tackling this issue as an urgent matter of national security. He didn't say save black people. He said national security issue.
Is white supremacy more impactful or detrimental than black men not being respected in the black community?
According to this FBI agent, black men being respected is not a national security issue. White supremacists infiltrating law enforcement is a national security issue, according to this report. According to this FBI agent that has a history of infiltrating white supremacist groups.
Do you understand that? Let me really help you out, like for real.
He's a member of the same organization you just got your numbers from, the FBI.
Bro. Let me tell you.
The FBI. We just went from the same goddamn source.
I'm gonna give you a lesson, bro. All right. So you came to a debate.
Am I lying or not? Is this not a problem or not? Yes or no?
Debate. No, it's not. You came to a debate, and
okay, so you disagree with your own source?
No. See, that's what I'm explaining to you.
So the FBI is not credible?
I'm going to explain to you why you're lame.
No. Is the FBI credible?
I'm going to explain to you why you're lame and why your tactic is going to fail.
Stop trolling and answer my question, brother, please.
What you're doing is you're taking the same source that you know I was going to get my information from. You're being untruthful with the source and you're being partially fucking what's name. This article is about 2006. It was only
Robert, they mentioned the 2006 report because the problem is still here. Stop dancing. You know why they referencing historical data is common when you're making an argument about a common problem.
I know you're slow, so let me help you out again. So today is February 4th, 2021. Okay, if someone was to walk up on February 3rd, 2021, if someone was to walk up on Fantastic and ask my opinion about something in 2006, what would be the fucking date on that article, sir?
Brother, I'm talking about 2020. I'm talking about September 29, 2020. September 29, 2020, a former FBI agent, Mike German, who completed multiple undercover missions within white supremacist groups, on September 29, 2020, this report came out. He explained the importance of tackling this issue as an urgent matter of national security.
So I'm going to ask you again. So if someone fucking comes to me on 2021,
Mike German said this in 2020.
Okay, again, I'm going to ask you again.
FBI, the same source you came from, brother. FBI, Federal Bureau of Investigation. So are you saying that my source is not credible?
About something from fucking 15 years ago.
Brother, I'm giving you something from less than 6 months ago. Stop fucking playing with me.
It is in reference.
You're getting on my fucking nerves because you are playing with me, bro. I'm giving you September 29, 2020. Mike German, former FBI agent who completed multiple undercover missions within white supremacist groups, explained the importance of tackling this issue as an urgent matter of national security. Again, he did not say saving black people. He didn't say they're only a threat to black people. That's not what he said. He said this is an urgent matter of national security. Let me post the link one more time in the chat so you guys can read for yourselves.
So since you don't want to let it go, you're not intelligent enough to see what you're doing. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to use your fucking thing to implode your own argument against yourself. Okay, so the social contract depends on.
You're going to do what? You're going to do what? You're going to use my own thing to implode itself inside of itself? What? Explain that.
You just kept reading the title, so let me read some actual context from the actual article. So let me help you out. The social contract depends on fair and neutral enforcement of the laws to protect the whole citizenry against criminal violence and state violence. We must work to disentangle police power of the state from groups and individuals that subscribe to violent white supremacist ideology that seek to inflict harm on African Americans, Asian Americans, Latinos.
National security. National security. I just said it wasn't just black people. I just made that point. I just made that point. Bro.
Brother, stop. You just kept
I just admitted they weren't talking about just black people. I just said that.
Brother, let me finish. Jewish Americans, LGBTQ Americans, and anyone who stands in the way of race war and civil war, that's extreme right is called.
They are a threat to national security. That's what he said.
So again, this is incredibly political, but you know who they aren't excluding, or they're talking about individually. It is a whole thing. It's not just black people. So they still
I understand that. I understand. No. Listen. When you go inside of a black church and you bomb a damn black church, you might kill some white people too. So yes, they're a threat to national security. So they also sell secrets to Russia and all that kind of shit. So yeah, they're a threat to national security. But is this not a problem? Is it not a problem?
White man not keeping nobody in the chat from doing nothing, bro. So again, like I said, your argument doesn't even fucking stand on its own because it isn't just exclusive to black people. Even if you want to use it.
I never said it was. That doesn't mean it's not a problem for us. What are you talking about, bro?
2006. And then furthermore, if you go on to read, this is clearly a motherfucking political hit, please. Because it says shit about civil war.
What are you talking about political hit piece? FBI agent.
Titles. I know you can't read anything other than
the title. I didn't read just the title. I didn't read just the title. Mike German, former FBI agent who completed multiple undercover missions within white supremacist groups.
Let me help you out.
And they referenced a report from a Republican administration. How is this a political hit piece?
Calling for in America today. A race war and civil war that the extreme right is calling for today.
Yes, extreme right, FBI. They also talk about extreme left. What's your point, bro? They're the FBI. They're not biased. They talk about extremist right wingers. Now you would be white. Wait. No. First of all, I thought you were conservative.
Where does it say it?
I thought you weren't conservative. First off, I thought you weren't conservative. They don't mention Trump. They don't mention Trump. So how is this a political hit piece?
You're going to skip over the lie you just told because you just said they mentioned extreme left wing too. They didn't.
I'm not talking about this report. I'm saying the FBI points out extremist leftists as well.
About this report, because again,
this is FBI, bro. How is this a political hit piece?
Wait, because again, so we look at this. We look at this time-wise. September 29th. This would have been after all of those Black Lives Matter marches, and there were plenty of.
This came out before Trump was even before he left, before he lost the election.
It was after.
This is Trump's FBI, my nigga. What are you talking about?
It was still after.
This is Trump's FBI. So this is two Republican FBI administrations.
It was never Trump's FBI.
George Bush FBI.
Black Lives Matter.
And now Donald Trump FBI, both saying the same shit. What are you talking about?
It was still after Black Lives Matter and Antifa, but it doesn't mention anything about
September 29th, 2020. That's Donald Trump FBI administration. Ain't no liberals running shit in the FBI, bro. And they're referencing another Republican administration FBI report. So this is two Republican administrations admitting that this is a problem.
Just because someone works under the president doesn't mean they work for the president.
Brother, what are you talking about? He appoints the FBI director. What the fuck are you talking about, brother? Now you're being disingenuous. Now you're being Wait a minute. So Donald Trump didn't run the FBI? He didn't have any power over the FBI?
No, the FBI is the FBI, bro.
Brother. Okay, man. Okay. All right. You want to play games? You want to play games? All right, bro. Okay, bro. Now, Now, had I referenced the report from Obama, then you would have mentioned, that's Obama. He don't say that. But now it's irrelevant. Okay, bro. Bottom line is the current day FBI under your Trump administration, you supported Donald Trump. His FBI administration came out with this report. What you gonna say?
It's not my Trump administration, for one.
Bro, you supported Donald Trump. You were riding his nuts for 4 goddamn years. Stop it, bro. Stop it, fucking stop it. Even your nut huggers in the group chats, they know that. Okay, bro? Right. Okay. So his FBI, your guy that you voted for, his FBI in 2020 referenced a 2006 report about a problem that currently exists. How is a report from the current FBI from Donald Trump a political hit piece against who?
This shit was being had because again,
political hit piece against who? It's Donald Trump's FBI, nigga. What the fuck are you talking about?
Again, this is information that was released to the public.
Brother,
2006. Whenever you release
2020 FBI administration was referencing that report because the problem is still around, dude.
What?
I'm not gonna keep playing with you, bro. You can clearly see. Okay, so racism is not relevant. Yes or no? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, for the 37th time. No, it's not. And again,
all right. So this is irrelevant. So white supremacists infiltrating police departments is not a relevant problem.
Bro, let me help you out. You've already said in the chat, and I said I completely agree with Fantastic. So you lost then.
No. I agree with the black dysfunction. I agree with you can't blame white people for black dysfunction. That's what I agree with. Stop playing with my words, dude. Stop playing with my words. I agree with not blaming whites for our dysfunction. But who are you going to blame for reports like this from the FBI, bro?
You agree
and this is just one example. Again, I also gave the Harvard Business Review report stating that hiring discrimination has not changed.
Bro, then you agreed again.
I keep giving you sources. So what you got to say about that?
You gave one source, and you referred to the same fucking source, 2 different fucking articles.
Do I need to post the link one more? Hang on. Let me pull up the Harvard Review. Hang on. Harvard Business Review, hiring discrimination against Black Americans hasn't declined in 25 years.
You lost the second time.
Listen, I'm not saying that these guys are super experts, but I know they're smarter than you, okay? I know they're smarter than you, so we're going to take their advice and their data over yours. Do you have anything to refute my source? Do you have any source to refute my source?
Bro, when you also said
all right. Harvard Business Review. Hiring discrimination against Black Americans hasn't declined in 25 years. This was in 2017. Okay, 2017, right? 3 years ago. Okay, well, 4 years ago, fine. But it's still relevant. It's still relevant. Race is often at the forefront of it. I've already read that point. I've already read that point. Here you go. Let me post the link one more time.
2017.
Because apparently, hang on a second. The report finds that the problem hasn't changed in 25 years, but apparently it's been solved in 4. We're going to be disingenuous. Hang on a second. Let me get the link one more time. Again, my argument is not that racism is holding Black people back.
To the middle class than American history. So you're still wrong. That's a refutation of your point.
What does the middle class have to do with what I'm saying, bro?
Again, what do you mean? You're talking about Black people being discriminated against in business. What the fuck are you talking about?
Right. So what was your point? What was your point?
Since 2017, there's been a change and a shift. What are you talking about?
Bro, according to what source? Where are you getting your source from? Where are you getting your information from? Where's your information coming from, bro?
Look it up.
Oh, no. We're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. I'm posting my sources, bro. I'm posting my sources. We're not gonna play that fucking game, bro. Go get your sources, nigga. You've known for a week about this debate. You came unprepared, my nigga. That's you. I'm posting my sources. Here we go. Harvard Business Review. Do you have any sources to refute mine?
The Black unemployment rate has been lowest it's ever been since 2017. The Black poverty rate was the lowest it's ever been since 2017. You had more Black men catapulted into the middle class ever in the history of America.
That does not refute my source. And where's your source? Where's your source?
You refute your source directly, man. Google is your friend.
Where's your source, bro? Come on, man. You gotta show your source, or you just toss some shit up.
So now you're gonna have me fucking just put the fucking
I'm gonna have you do what I'm doing, posting your sources, bro.
You're only using 2 sources. That's both.
Okay, and I posted them, and I've shown them.
White folks, man.
And I've shown them.
Show your sources. Complaining about white people. Let me see. Let's see.
No. I'm not complaining about white people. I'm complaining about violent white supremacists infiltrating law enforcement and violating American citizens' rights because I believe in the Constitution. That's what I'm complaining about. Let's get it straight. Now, you can keep trying to come at me at that angle. White people. I'm not coming from that angle, dude.
You are coming from that angle.
That's bullshit. No, I'm not. That's not that. I'm coming from the FBI under Donald Trump, a man that you voted for, admitted that this was a problem.
You cannot not be coming from that fucking angle by making a fucking argument for white supremacy, you fucking idiot. Are you kidding me?
The topic is racism still relevant in 2021? The topic is racism still relevant in 2021? I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, bro. I'm giving you one example out of many of how this is a current problem. Is it the excuse for Black dysfunction? No.
Racism isn't responsible for abortion rate. Racism
I didn't say that.
Racism
I agree with that.
So you keep losing to me every time you say.
No, I'm not losing because I agree with what you're saying to a point, but you're not refuting my point, bro.
What I'm saying is a fact.
So both are true, nigga. That's what I'm trying to get you to understand, bro. That's what I'm trying to get you to understand, bro. And I know it's so hard for you to do because you've been regurgitating this racist white boy bullshit for so long, telling niggas to stop whining about the race card. But white people get to use the race card all the time, and you don't say shit about it, bro. You don't say shit about that. You don't say shit when your white boys use the race card, man.
Arsonist would be the dumbass motherfucker that says every injury are equal injuries. That's the kind of fucking emergency room that village arsonists would run. Village arsonists would just take people as they came in the door, and he would not give precedence to severity of the injury.
That shit that you're saying right now has to do with any goddamn point I motherfucking made. Boy, you are officially rambling right now.
You agree with me that certain things like abortion, single mother rate, Black people killing Black people, far more detrimental. Hold on. Are far more detrimental than racism. That means racism is not that important.
No. But is it still relevant? Is it still a problem? Is it still relevant? You just said it was.
1 or at least top 3. It's not even top 10.
No, that's not the question. The question is it still relevant? Not is it more relevant? Okay, so it's not a problem at all.
It's not. It's not relevant.
Okay, so there's no racism. That's what you're saying.
That's what you said. No, I said it's not relevant.
It's not relevant?
It's not relevant.
It's not relevant at all. Even though, again, you're saying we're coming from the same source admitting that this is a problem, and this is just one of the problems. Again, my source is also saying that hiring discrimination has not changed. Now, you can have low black employment and still have high hiring discrimination.
Hold on, you asked for sources. There's a source for
because for one, the way we both know the way that they count unemployment numbers is such bullshit is ridiculous. You and I both know that. They call you. They say they don't even count the people that if they're not looking for work.
Oh, you can. So
come on, man.
Get a source from
so come on, they punch those numbers all the time. They cook those unemployment numbers all the time, bro.
And now that I give a source from 2019, now that's irrelevant.
No, wait. Where's your source? Hang on. What source did you get?
Now you blind. Now you can't read. You can read my name.
Let me come back. Hang on.
So you can read my name. Lowest in fucking history, bro. 2019. Before the fucking shutdown of the motherfucking federal fucking government, bro. Up until then.
Okay. Again. How do they count unemployment, bro? They don't count you as unemployed if you haven't been looking for work for a certain period of time. Those numbers are bullshit. Everybody knows unemployment numbers are bullshit, bro. Come on.
Wow.
Fantastic. Okay. Can you quickly explain how they come to these numbers then? Am I lying?
It's almost over.
Is that not how they calculate unemployment numbers, bro?
Victory, man. You've agreed
really,
with me more than one time.
No. I mean, you made that point. That doesn't disprove my point, but you have not disproven the point about law enforcement, bro.
You want these crybaby ass dudes that want to blame the white man for your failures.
I'm not, but again, for the 50th time, I'm not blaming them for black dysfunction. I'm blaming them for shit like white supremacists being in law enforcement, dude. That's what I'm blaming them for.
Not enough. Tell me the percentage of white supremacists in the police enforcement. Go.
What?
Awkward silence. Tell me the percentage of white supremacists in the police force. Go.
I don't know. I don't know the
So
percentage.
so let's just say. So what would be a substantial number that will make it relevant?
I have no idea. I don't know. Bottom line is the FBI is saying that it's a problem.
I made you blow your own brains out. Thank you for winning the debate for me, sir.
Bro,
listen, I know you're trying to get on.
Listen. You're not refuting anything that I'm saying, dude. You're not understanding. You keep trying to hit me from an angle you can't hit me from, bro. I'm not blaming the white man for anything. You said that repeatedly, and I'm not doing that. What have I blamed him for, bro? What have I blamed the white man for?
Without making an argument. You're making a whole argument that you're saying.
You said that multiple times. What am I blaming him for? What black dysfunction have I blamed him for,
white
bro?
Supremacy is inherent in the name, in the discussion. White supremacy.
Brother, what black dysfunction am I blaming? You keep saying I'm blaming the white man. What am I blaming the white man for? Other than what he needs to be accountable for by his own FBI.
I have no idea. This is too easy.
Oh, you keep saying it.
That's time. Good shit, brothers. All right. We're going to go into closing statements. We let off with Brother Fantastic, so we'll be leading off the closing statements with Brother TBA. 7 minutes on the clock. Brother TBA, you are up, sir. Pull the trigger. This is closing statements. You got it. Brother TVA, you're muted. You're muted, Brother TVA. Brother TVA, you're muted.
I didn't make him quit, did I?
Brother TVA. Page.
My bad. What is it? Closing statements? Okay.
Yes, closing statements. Pull the trigger.
My bad. I was reading something. Okay. Bottom line, he keeps trying to hit me from an angle that he can't fucking hit me from. My argument is not that the white man is to blame for black dysfunction. That's not
my argument. My argument is that racism is still a relevant problem in 2021. Now, again, I'm giving sources proving that we have a current, for instance, and again, they're talking about how these same organizations, these Proud Boys and whatever like that, yes, they're a threat to national security. Absolutely. But yet and still, these are still violent white supremacists infiltrating law enforcement agencies. These people have been caught on social media talking about killing black people, joking about killing black people. This is a problem. If you truly believe in the Constitution, then you have a problem with government agents violating the rights of American citizens based on race. Period, point blank. Is racism to blame for black dysfunction? No. But these coons out here, these coon conservatives, and I don't give a fuck what you say, dude. You're a conservative. Okay? You're on that Trump shit, you're on that fake black cultural conservative shit. You're on that same boat, bro. Stop it. Okay? You're on that fake ass black cultural conservative bullshit. A true conservative goes from logic and data. Is black dysfunction the fault of white people? No. We make a lot of fucking stupid decisions as a community that puts us in our current state. However, you cannot deny the problem of racism currently in this country, because that would be disingenuous. No one is saying that it's keeping you from doing anything. That's not what we're saying. But if you have a problem, for instance, hang on a second. If you have a problem, for instance, with white supremacist organizations infiltrating law enforcement agencies, and you have shit like George Floyd where you have guys kneeling on people's necks and shit, dude, that wasn't justified. You've tried to justify that. That's unconstitutional, man. I don't understand how you could be a member of the military. You've taken certain oaths. I don't understand how you could be okay with what happened to George Floyd. You've used his current past criminal background to justify what happened to that man. So if you make mistakes in the past, you deserve to be murdered by the police. Philando Castile, I've mentioned him before. Again, Negroes like you will go point A, point B, point C, point D, telling us how we supposedly survive an encounter with police officers, right? Okay. Well, Philando Castile did everything right. He did everything he was supposed to do. He did everything that people like you will tell him to do in order to survive a police encounter, and he was murdered. Now, a person like you will say, oh, there's only one person. So what? I don't care if it's only one person. That's a problem. But it's not just one person. You have multiple instances of black people that have done nothing wrong having their rights violated by police officers. So on one hand, you got the FBI, both of our the same source I came from, you came from, admitting that this is a problem, coming out in 2020 under the Trump administration agreeing that this is a problem. They referenced a 2006 report because the problem is still a problem. That's why they referenced the report. Referencing historical data to show that this is a trend, a long trend, is all they're really doing. So stop trying to discredit the source because they keep referencing a 2006 report. They're not saying the problem has been solved. That's nowhere in there. Everything in the report is saying that the problem is getting worse, has gotten worse. Now, does this keep you from getting a job? No. Does this keep you from making money? No. Does this keep us down as a people and all this? No. Is this responsible for the black dysfunction you see in these inner cities? No. Does this explain the single mother problem? No. Does this explain the high school dropout problem? No. But it does explain the violent white supremacists infiltrating law enforcement problem. What is the problem with being able to admit that both are a problem? What is it with people like you having to, on one hand, being able to admit that black dysfunction is a problem, but when it comes to white people, you just give them a total pass. Again, I mentioned Colin Kaepernick because this is a prime example of the hypocrisy when it comes to the First Amendment. People like you on one hand will bitch and moan about how certain people are SJWs and they're snowflakes and all this other shit, how they want to censor people for opinions, but you said absolutely nothing when they wanted to do the same shit to Colin Kaepernick. And again, the president of the United States, the man that you admittedly voted for, I need you to explain this, bro. Racism is not a problem, but Colin Kaepernick, a black football player, now I don't give a fuck how you feel about him. That's not relevant. Bottom line is, this man was not committing a crime. He was taking a knee. He took a knee under the advice based on the advice of a veteran like you, telling him that taking a knee would actually be the more respectful gesture. And your president, the one that you voted for, came out and demanded that this man be fired from his job for taking a knee. That is a violation of the First Amendment. It is a flat out violation of the First Amendment. So how are you telling me racism is not a problem when you got congressmen coming out threatening black militia members? Did you hear about that? The guy down in Louisiana, I'll get the link on that. Clay Higgins came out and threatened to shoot black militia people coming down there to exercise their Second Amendment rights, just like your white boys do. What's the problem with that? What's up with that?
All right. That's going to be time. 7 minutes on the clock. Brother Fantastic, you are up, sir. Pull the trigger. Close the statements.
Hey, again, man, another easy win, another easy road to victory. Listen, bro, you can't come to a debate with only two sources and then refer to the source in I don't know how many different ways disingenuously. The only reason the date that the report was done doesn't matter when all of the subject matter is in 2006. If you come to me today and ask me about something in 2006, of course, the date on the interview or the story or whatnot is going to be today. But everything, the only reason we're even having the conversation is about something that was revealed from 2006. Secondly, I love how you said if it's only one, it should matter. Wow. Only if black people had that attitude when it came to black people killing black people, because it wouldn't just be one. According to the FBI statistics and data, the latest information available from 2019, it would be 2,906 times, brother. So again, when I asked you, you were not able to tell me the amount of alleged white supremacists in the police department. Okay? Because again, when you say something is a problem, you have to order the problem and the severity of it. I tried to tell you in the analogy of the emergency room. When you have injuries in an emergency room, the person with a fever or a paper cut or whatever it may be does not get ahead of the line privilege before the person with a gunshot wound. You agree with me on all of my premises. So when you have that understanding, saying that there is a level of importance of infractions or things that are detrimental, then you agree that racism is not relevant. I gave you 10 things. You agreed with 4 of them, which will make it number 5, which I could have kept going, but you kept over talking me. Racism is not an issue or is relevant in 2021. There are too many successful black men out here, myself being one of them. There are too many black men out here on white supremacist platforms. YouTube is ran by the quote unquote white man. Social media is ran by the quote unquote white man. So the ultimate form of supremacy would be for them to just kick your black ass off and make you go do something else and not motherfucking talk on their shit. I don't know why we're talking about Colin Kaepernick. Colin Kaepernick started under Barack Obama. Okay. Just again, I'm going to explain to you what free speech is, sir. Free speech is the ability for everyone to say what they want to say. Everyone, from citizen to public official to president of the United States. If the president says he feels like Colin Kaepernick should be fired, what he's doing, that is also his First Amendment right to say it. That is his opinion. But again, you have a very low understanding of a lot of things. At the end of the day, you didn't bring any data. All of your arguments are emotional and anecdotal. When I ask you the most important question about how many white supremacists are actually present in the justice system or in the law system, you do not know. So if you do not know, we know what we do know is that it's not 100%. What we do know is that it's not 50%. So again, once you know that it's the minority, now you have to figure out how much of the minority that it is. Again, when I look at these numbers from Statista about people who were killed by from 2017 to 2021 by police officers, black people, 2017, 223 people, 2018, 209 people, 2019, 235 people, 2020, 226 people. Okay, and then white people double that, okay, on average, are doubling it. That tells me that again, and then you have the actual numbers of black people committing more violent crime. All right, is that white folks' fault? No. Stop breaking the law. Stop killing each other. Stop fucking carjacking each other. Stop. And again, even right now to this day, in black neighborhoods, violent crime rates are skyrocketing. In New York City, they had over a 200% increase in shootings. Okay? So again, man, you got to come to this thing with data and not just your feelings. We are taught you can't say that it's not about the white man and not, bro. This debate is about white supremacy and the relevance of it. And so it is about the white man. Otherwise, it wouldn't be white supremacy. Why are we talking about this in 2021? How does this progress black people or black men as a whole? Where is the power in even having this conversation? There is none. You're trying to disprove a negative or an unknown because you don't even know how many white supremacists are out there. And despite there being white supremacists out there, like I said, I know plenty of successful black men. You brought up the military. The military is one of the most white male-centric careers there are in the fucking world. Okay? And yet still, what am I doing? I'm 3 years away from retirement. More than well taken care of, more than well compensated, and immaculate record. Some close calls, but immaculate record. So again, in 2021, I am not receiving no type of motherfucking racism, okay? That's my anecdotal experience. And what I can tell you is the majority of black men out here that are making their money, making better lives for their families, progressing financially, progressing politically, all these different things, bro. I don't understand how white supremacy would have the spotlight only on black people. And again, I'm going to use your own source against you. It didn't just say black people. It said African Americans, Asian Americans, Latinos, Jewish Americans, LGBTQ Americans. So white supremacy isn't even exclusive to black people anymore. So that further, even if your thing was correct, it wouldn't be accurate because they're not even targeting black people anymore. Hispanics, there are more Hispanics than black people. So what that means you will be second in the race behind Hispanics. You're making an argument, bro, that is extremely emotional, and at the end of the day, it just does nothing of value. We've had this, we talked about it ad nauseum for I don't know how long. You haven't brought any type of data, you haven't brought anything to refute anything I said, and you agree with me on more than 5 different occasions. Easy work. I'm out.
All right. That's going to conclude the debate. So now we go to the polls. If you believe Brother Fantastic won the debate, put an F in the chat. If you believe Brother TVA won the debate, put a T in the chat. Put an F in the chat for Brother Fantastic. Put a T in the chat for Brother TVA. And do not, I repeat, do not vote twice, because if you do, my moderators will block your black ass. Let's go. All right. Let's keep those votes coming, folks. Let's keep them coming. Pretty good, man, for the first throwdown of the 2021 season, man. I missed these throwdowns, man. Haven't had one like this for a while. What y'all think, man? I was actually thinking about kiboshing the debates. Do y'all think I should keep them? Should we keep them? Should we keep them, folks? I'll ask y'all after the poll is done. Let me see. Do not vote twice, because if you do, my moderators will block you. Don't do it. It's looking like Brother Fantastic. It's looking like Brother Fantastic. Yeah, we're going to call this one for Brother Fantastic. I'm going to call it for Brother Fantastic, folks. I appreciate the voting. I appreciate the participation. The T.P.O.T. YouTube page fans. Now, y'all know how we do this. I know we haven't done this in a while, but if you have questions for my debaters, you know how we do it. Those questions must be super chatted or cashed app. Either way, doesn't matter to me, because if you don't super chat or cash app them, I will not read them. So if you have questions for my debaters, now's the time to shoot them up. But I appreciate my debaters for coming through tonight, man. I mean, like I said, it's the first big throwdown of the 2021 season.
I appreciate you having me on again, man. It was a good debate.
Absolutely. We haven't had one in quite some time. Well, actually, I haven't been on the air in almost a month. It's been like 3 weeks, 4 weeks. Took a little time off. I hauled ass, y'all, and went out of town. Took my lady down to Florida. Spent about 5-6 days there. Then I zoomed up to Georgia to see some of my folks there. And yeah, man, I was the hell out of here, man, for like 10, 11 days. So, you know, when I got back, I said, you know what? Fuck you too. Till next week. But we right back at it. Yeah. So, like I said, if you got any questions for the folks, Brother Nick Taylor in the house. What's good, Brother Nick? I see you up there, brother. We got everybody in the house tonight. I see Brother Stoic. What's good with it? Brother Bitcoin L is in the house. Thai City as well. My man, Brother Supreme, is in the Candyman in the goddamn house. Candyman, you got to hit me up, man. You already know what it is. Brother J.I. is in the house. DJ Kuda in the house. Who else we got in here, man? Let me see. Let me go up a little bit. See what we got in here. The OG, J Speed, is in the house as well. I appreciate everybody, man, coming through, man, for this first throwdown of the 2021 season. So what do y'all think, man, about the because I said earlier a little while ago, I was actually thinking about kiboshing the debates for a while. So what do y'all think? Do y'all think I should keep them? Put an X in the chat if you think we should keep the T.P.O.T. debates. Put an O in the chat if you think we should dump them. Should we keep them or should we dump them?
Hey, Brother X, while you waiting on that, man, I just want to say, salute Fantastic, salute the Village Arsonist. That was a good debate. You know what I'm saying? I enjoyed listening to it, and I got to run, no, brother X.
All right,
I
my brother.
Stuff tonight.
I appreciate you, man, for coming through, man. You know you my dude, man. I had to get you for this one because you do such a way better job than my black ass do. I appreciate you coming through, brother KIT, man. You already know what it is, my brother.
Yeah, no problem. And I'll be in the chat still listening, but y'all have a good night though. I know it's gonna be a epic discussion after once you open up the panel, if you open up the panel. But
absolutely,
y'all have a good night though, man. I appreciate it. And if you need me again, just let me know.
Absolutely. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you.
All right, peace out.
Yeah, y'all. That there is the official T.P.O.T. timekeeper of these here debates, the one and only Keep It Techie. Go down there and check out Keep It Techie on keepitechie.com. And like I said, once again, brother Keep It Techie is the official timekeeper of the T.P.O.T. debates. And I did see a question go up. God damn it. Hold on. There it is.
I posted a link about go ahead.
All right, brother Scientice, my man. Appreciate that $5 super chat, man. He says, if racism is relevant, which I think it is, does this apply across the board, considering we're in the midst of cancel culture? And he says that question is for the both of you. So whoever wants to take a crack at it, pull the trigger.
I mean, what do you mean by that? I don't understand what he means by that.
You might have to clarify.
Doesn't what apply across the board? Like, does he mean cancel cultures? Does he mean like anti-gay and like is that still relevant or whatever? Is that what you're talking about? Or like the other isms? Are there other isms still relevant? Or I mean, I just posted a link about racism in the military. I mean, look, again, is every soldier racist? No. I mean, but that's a fucking problem. That's a relevant problem. You got white supremacists in your military. Okay, well, you've also got non-white soldiers in your military as well. So that means you got black, you got black men, you got black men enlisted. But dude, again, is it only 5% or whatever?
No, you have
okay, maybe, but nigga, it's a fucking problem if you got black soldiers in the military and they got to worry about some fucking neo-Nazi watching their back in a war zone. That's a problem, bro.
Again, bro.
Is it a super huge problem? Is it a bigger problem than so-and-so? No, but it's a problem.
You have black identity extremists too, and also since you don't know this,
black identity extremist. Man, if you don't get the entire fuck out of here with that bullshit ass shit, black identity extremists in the military.
Well, hold on,
that Rush Limbaugh shit up out of here, man.
Hold on, wait. If you're
what's the name of the organization?
Bro, if you're going to use one FBI,
what's the name of the organization?
Brother, hold on. If you're going to use the FBI's reference of one hate group, you have to use the FBI's reference to another.
Okay, what's the name of the group though? What's the name of the group? Like, what's the name of the hate groups that are joining the military though?
New Black Panther Party and plenty of others. I mean, you're talking about something you don't know about, bro. Back in the 2000s, they had a huge problem with gang members from Gangsta Disciples.
I know about gang members. That's not the same as black identity extremists.
No,
you know that.
Stop.
Ain't no Crips and Bloods the same as black identity extremists, dude.
You cut me off. You cut me off before I finish the story. You literally had a number of known gang members, Gangsta Disciples, that were joining the army. And they were coming into the fucking army, bro. And
you got neo-Nazis, skinheads, Hell's Angels doing that same shit. Yeah, Serranos doing that same shit. Norteños, Latin Kings. I know about that.
You don't know about it because you didn't let me finish, but it's irrelevant.
But ain't no Crips and Bloods and GDs a threat to white people. Ain't no GDs saying let's kill white people.
They are
not on that shit.
Bro, they are when they're...
You got white Crips and Bloods and GDs. So what's your point?
Oh my God!
I'm talking about race. I'm talking about violent white supremacists in the military. You talking about Crips and Bloods? Nigga, that ain't the same.
You just running your mouth. You don't understand the context of what it was.
It's not the fucking same. You're talking about street gangs that have all kind of races in them. I'm talking about violent white supremacists in the military.
Tell me a white GD. So where are the majority of white GDs at? I'll wait.
White what?
White GDs.
White GDs.
Yeah, white GDs, gangster disciples. Tell me the majority white gangster disciple population in America. Go.
Brother, what are you talking about? They got all kind of non-black members in these gangs, bro.
Now you stuttering, bro.
Brother, you got white, black, Hispanic, Bloods, Crips, all kind of. You know that as well as I do, bro. Stop the bullshit, bro. Everybody knows that.
I specifically said gangster disciples, and then tell me about the majority Latin kings. Then tell me about the white majority. Latin
you got black Latin kings, white Latin kings, brown Latin king. What are you talking about, bro? You got Latin kings that are straight up jet black from Cuba. You got white Latin kings that are Spanish and Italian. You got what are you talking about, bro?
You gotta do better with your debate skills, bro.
Okay, you're factually wrong. I don't know what your point is, bro. Bottom line is shit like white supremacists being in the military. You guys can deny it all you want. Racism ain't no problem. Okay, the government is coming out saying this is a problem. So, I mean, you niggas that want to be on some, there ain't no crime and no racism. Okay, well, meanwhile, the fucking government, the DOJ, the Department of Defense, they're coming out with reports saying, hey, these guys are getting in our shit. So maybe we got some miscommunication. Apparently Fantastic is more, informed than the Joint Chiefs of Staff and the Commandant of the Marine Corps. And, these other motherfuckers, apparently Fantastic and his butt buddies in the chat. You dig what I'm saying? That honestly believe he won this fucking debate. I don't see fucking how. All the nigga kept saying was, you blaming white people, the whole fucking debate. And I spent half the goddamn debate saying, no, I do not. And I will still say it.
That's the whole point of the debate.
I'm not saying
you can't say one without saying the other, bro. You don't understand that fundamental, bro. That's you don't even understand that fundamental fact, bro. That is your argument. That is your argument by nature.
You can say it is. It's not. You can say it is. Okay, and I will ask you again. What black dysfunction do I blame whites for? Can you tell me?
You tell me. You're blaming them. You're blaming them for the.
You're the one that keeps telling me I'm blaming the white man. So what am I blaming him for?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I don't know why we're talking about.
Why the fuck do you keep saying it?
Because you keep bringing him up. So you're blaming him for something.
It's the fucking topic.
It's the problem. Exactly. The topic is blaming the white man. Thank you. Now you're starting to get it. Now you're
you're trolling now.
You're trolling. I get it. That is a topic, and the topic is blaming the white man. You want the white man to take the blame. Thank you. You finally got it.
You're trolling now. You're trolling because I haven't said anything like that, bro. I literally said the opposite. Again,
you cannot not say it by making the argument
of whites.
By making the argument, bro, you're
of the white man. Let me say it again.
Bro, you cannot not make the argument for
not the fault of the white man.
Bro, so again, let me ask you this. So what part of white supremacy is not the white man's fault? How about that one?
Nigga, what?
I'm going to ask you again. What part of white supremacy is not the white man's fault?
You actually have lots of non-white participants in that bullshit.
Wait. So now we got black white supremacists?
Yeah, you do. You got a lot of black people. Yes, you got a lot of black people that think white people are superior. Yes, you do.
Oh my God! Hey man, this is too.
You don't know that? You got a lot of niggas like that. Yeah.
Oh God! And this goes with the coon argument and everything else. And you asking how I won this debate, brother? Again, man, do better, man. Listen,
Your question was: are there black people that are white supremacists? No, you don't think you can be a black person that believes that white people are superior? Bro, you got niggas like that everywhere. What are you talking about? Have you been to South Carolina?
Just read the chat, man. Again, bro. I do this for real, man. You new to this.
I don't give a damn what the chat means. Chat saying. Is it impossible to be a non-white person that believes that whites are superior? Yes or no?
What?
You have plenty of niggas like that. What are you talking?
They wouldn't be white.
You don't see these bitches with blonde weave and skin lightening cream and shit.
That's you. Hold on. You're actually one of the people you're talking about because you're.
No, I'm not, bro.
Yes, you are. Hold on. Wait. What's the name of this debate? Is racism still relevant in the thing? And your argument was what? White supremacists.
So acknowledging that neo-Nazis are becoming cops means that I believe that whites are better. Okay.
Brother, you said white supremacy. You use white supremacists on the law enforcement shit. You even talking about white supremacists in the military.
I said white supremacists.
Okay, supremacists. So again, a supremacist actual person.
That's the ideology of the people infiltrating law enforcement.
There's no white person supreme to me, sir.
Brother, what the fuck are you? No, I'm talking about their ideology, dude. What are you talking about? I didn't say superior whites are joining law enforcement. I said white supremacists are infiltrating.
When a white supremacist walk up to you and say, "Look here, boy, nigger, get out of my way. I'm better than you." You just yes or massa. That's what you answer.
What?
That's what you answer.
He would be a white supremacist. He would be a white supremacist. Yes.
Well, you give him the power of being a white supremacist.
No. His ideology would be white supremacy.
I don't give a fuck about his ideology. His ideology can only exist if I allow it to. His ideology only exists if I submit to his ideology, bro. What are you talking about?
What? An ideology only exists if you agree with it?
Listen, bro.
What?
When it comes to something being supreme, meaning greater or better.
I didn't say anyone was better. I'm talking about his ideology.
Bro, I'm talking about actual etymology, sir. I'm talking about etymology, the word supreme and what it means.
Nigga, you can't spell that word. You can't spell that word.
Etymology, stop it. You can't spell it. Don't tell on yourself.
That's why you didn't even try, nigga, because you.
But anyway, like I said, in order for that person to actually believe that they're better than me, I have to support them in it. Again, if a white motherfucker walks up to me and calls me all kinds of boys and niggas, I'll get that up out of him real quick. Okay, I've seen it change in an old ass white man and he hobbled his little racist ass.
Brother. Bottom line is you're trying to hit me from an angle that you can't hit me at. I don't believe in blaming them for our problems.
You are.
That's why how? Okay, and I keep asking you, what specifically have I blamed them for?
Bro,
have I blamed them for abortion?
You're saying that racism is an issue. You're saying that racism
that's not the same as blaming them.
It is.
Acknowledging that racism exists is not the same as blaming them for our dysfunction. What the fuck are you saying, dude?
So I'm going to ask you this question then, sir. Why would you acknowledge a non-factor?
It is if the FBI is saying that this is a national security
from 2006.
Again, this report is from 2020. Under the Trump administration, and they are referencing a 2006 report because it shows how long the problem has been a problem. Now, we really know law enforcement has been infiltrated by white supremacists for centuries in this country.
It shows the information that was released to the public for whatever reason, just like they do every 50 years or whatever.
Fantastic. Why else would they just randomly bring up a 2006 report, bro? Why else would they just bring up a random 2006 report?
Who knows? Why would
because they're talking about a problem that's still relevant. That's why. And it says that in the fucking report. And it's the same source you came from, the FBI. The same source you went to for your crime.
That's a horrible argument that you're using.
I went to for my data.
That's a horrible argument that you're using.
How is it a horrible argument? The fact that we literally came from the same goddamn source.
Sources is the same, that the information is equally valid. That doesn't equal the same thing.
No. What I'm saying is you can't discredit the course, but you're saying there's a political agenda and all this other shit. What political agenda? This is the FBI.
I'm discrediting your purposeful misdirection and dishonesty with the context of the information. The only reason the information is being talked about, because again, just like other things and other organizations or other classified documents, when information is released at a later date and time and they release it to the public and you talk about it in the present, that's the reason why it's fucking at hand and talked about, bruh. Point blank.
And
period.
I gave you a report from 2020 saying that
Okay,
this is
and
a
then
problem.
I even turned that
bottom line,
against you.
now
It
we're
don't
coming
even matter.
to
Everything you said was
you're working
irrelevant.
from a perspective of opinion. You're talking about, well, it's a problem, but it ain't that big of a problem. Like you're trying to gauge it and all this other bullshit.
You prove it to me. So again,
I just gave you a report from the same source as yours saying that it's a current
when
problem.
you
Bottom
agree
line,
with
dude.
my opinion, brother, when you agree with my opinion, let me give you some tips. Never agree with your opponent in a debate. You agree with me different times.
I'm honest. I'm not here. I'm not here for bullshit and for trolling.
In a debate,
so
brother,
when you say something that's true, it's true.
Not a smart
Black dysfunction is not the fault of whites.
All right, then. So why are we having the discussion?
Because black dysfunction is not the fucking topic.
Okay, black dysfunction is the main problem with black people.
But you're bringing it, but that's not the topic. But it's not the topic,
bro. Okay, and I'm countering your point. My counter to your point about racism.
You're not on topic. You've been accusing me for being off topic the whole debate.
Bro, you still don't
talk about black dysfunction.
Listen, bro. Listen. I'm gonna explain it to you again. I'm not trolling you. I'm being dead ass serious, brother. Your premise was racism is a issue and relevant. My counter argument is that no, racism is not fucking an issue and relevant. That black dysfunction is far more relevant and detrimental than that is.
Okay, no, that's not
argument.
The top. No, you just told on yourself. You said more. You said more relevant. The topic is it relevant? You just admitted it's relevant. You just said it's relevant. No. You just said black dysfunction is more relevant than racism. Did you not just say that? So when you say something is more relevant,
wait. Let me help you.
You are implying that the other thing is relevant, right?
No, I'm not. Let me again. Are you ready for me to answer, bro? Because again, I do this for real. So what is one?
You just said that black dysfunction is more relevant than racism.
Yes, it is.
How about I agree with you on that? Okay, I agree with you on that. But that's not the topic.
If you agree with me, you're gonna lose again.
It's not the topic, nigga.
Hold on. Wait, listen. Let me help you out.
You just admitted that it's relevant.
You don't want to learn. Listen, be quiet. Just listen, bruh.
You just admitted that it's relevant,
dude. Wait. 0 is an amount, brother. So everything is more than 0. So this is what I'm trying to tell you.
Okay, stop playing games, bro. Stop playing games, bro. You said black dysfunction is more relevant.
And 0 is an amount, is it not? Is 0 an amount?
Okay, so it's not relevant at all. Okay, fine. All right.
Thank you. More is more than 0.
You keep slipping and sliding, man. Because the other day you were talking about how white people control the media and shit. So I don't know.
I'll teach you something, bro. I'm coaching you in this debate shit since you want to, you know what I mean, get into it. I mean,
I have no idea how you're coaching me, dude. You keep building straw man after straw man. You build straw man after straw man, bro.
You agree? You can't.
You're not attacking my points at all. You keep assuming I'm blaming whites for something. What do you? You will not tell me what I'm blaming them for.
Not say that it's a straw man when you agree with me multiple occasions, multiple times, bro. You open up in your open statement saying that you agree with me
again. Do I blame whites for black dysfunction? No, but that's not the fucking topic. The topic is racism still relevant?
And the answer
Both
is
can
no.
be true.
The answer is no.
Can be true.
They can be, but they're not. The answer is no. Quite simple. It's already been proven.
Well, the FBI disagrees. The government disagrees. The federal government disagrees.
They don't. They just referred to an old.
Okay, well, again, I'm giving you reports saying they are saying that white extremists infiltrating government agencies is a problem. So I'm giving you the government report saying this. You don't want to read them. I mean, it is what it is, bro. I don't know what to tell you, man. But who's the expert? You or the government? Who do we listen to here? Fantastic knows more than the federal government about what's going on in police departments in this country. That's basically what you're saying.
I know just as much.
You're basically saying you know more than the federal government about what's going on in these police departments.
So that's why I'm having the debate with you, not them, because you don't know how many white supremacists are in the police department. So I know more. I know just as much or more than you. That's why me and you
Brother,
have.
it's not about me. It's about my source. The government is saying that white supremacists are infiltrating law enforcement.
Your source is just as good as you because it did not give you finite numbers.
So you're assuming it's 1%, and you think I'm assuming it's 50%. Which one of us is right? Do you have any numbers proving your side that it's only a small percentage?
I know it's not 100%.
How do you know? Okay, how do you know that? How do you know that?
I know it's not 50%.
How?
Because if it was, you definitely have a report on that statement.
That's not proof.
How's it not?
That's not proof, dude.
It's more proof to you. I know it's not 100%. We can agree upon that. I know it's not 50%.
No, you're assuming that it's only a small percentage of these guys. How do you know that? Why do you make that assumption?
Because if it was a majority, they would have a legal obligation to fucking tell the public, because that would be a federal crime and a violation of civil rights laws. That's why.
Hold on a second, brothers. Shout out to Brother Hulk with the $5 super chat. He says, yes, a man's ability to control himself is more relevant than being dependent on expecting your self-declared enemy to be nice. And also, another one here. Shout out to Brother Chief Rocker for the $5 super sticker. Appreciate that super sticker, Brother Chief Rocker. I don't know if folks want to come up and chime in, but if you do want to come up, hit me up in the email. It's prophetofthought@yahoo.com. That's prophetofthought, no caps, one word, @yahoo.com. If you wish to bring your black ass up here and opine and or contribute to what's going on in here. Also, quick programming note before we continue, folks. Tomorrow, go ahead and turn this on. Tomorrow, we will be throwing down with the one and only brother George Macon will be in the house, and we'll be chopping it up. I'm actually looking forward to this. I got a lot of respect for Brother Macon. So he'll be here tomorrow, 9 p.m. Eastern time, and we'll be chopping it up. Should be a good stream, you know. He's got a lot to say, man, and he's coming here tomorrow to say it. So make sure you have your black behinds here, because if you don't, you already know what I will do. Don't make me do it. But yeah, if you want to come up here and you want to say something to Brother Fantastic, or if you have something to say to Brother TBA, the email is prophetofthought@yahoo.com. It's prophetofthought@yahoo.com. I appreciate everybody for coming out tonight, and those likes are looking good. I'm appreciating that too. Give yourself a round of applause, folks. Yeah. One more thing. We got some new stuff coming down the pipe, brothers. I'm not gonna allude to it too much right now, but we got some new stuff coming for y'all, man. So just stay tuned, man. We got some new shit coming down the road, man, in 2021. I think y'all are gonna like some of the things we got going on. So stick with us, man, like you've been doing, and you're gonna see some new shit, man. You're gonna see some new folks that you probably, well, some of you are probably familiar with some of the folks that'll be coming through, but I know many of the people that'll be coming through you won't be familiar with. I have a few people lined up next month that are not part of this space. So you know, like I said, man, stick with us, man. We're gonna have some good shit, man, coming for you. All right. Oh, Brother Nate. Oh, yeah, that's right. Brother Nate, he ain't buy his computer. I gotta drop the link for my man, Brother Nate. So I gotta put it in the chat, even though I don't want to, because I know my man Nate ain't buy his computer. So for Brother Nate, I will make an exception. All right. Here you go, brother Nate. Go ahead and hit that link so I can go ahead and erase it. Cause here lately, man, motherfuckers been doing some crazy shit on StreamYards, man. Like they be coming up in the queue, man, with some ridiculous shit. So you know, I gotta screen the motherfuckers I sent up here now, cause motherfuckers be coming up here with be trying to porn bomb you in the whole nine. So yeah, they be on some old craziness, man. You know, luckily this StreamYard shit, you know, you can kind of stop them. You know, you can put a stop to them. So that's why I be putting the you know, I don't really like putting it in the chat. You know, so I don't have to screen the goddamn porn bombs. Big Nate, what's good with it, my brother?
Brother Xavier, how you doing, man?
What's good with it, man? What's going on?
Nothing much, man. I just want to come up, add a couple of questions.
All right, man. Pull the trigger. And brothers who are writing me, I'm sending you the link right now. Check your emails. Check your emails, brothers.
Hey, what's up? Fantastic. How you doing, Mr. Arsonist? I don't think I've ever worked on a platform with you before. I just had a couple of questions. So your contention is that racism is a problem because of these white supremacists that have infiltrated the police departments in some cities. Is that your contention? I just got on. I just pulled up the debate, you know, about 10 minutes ago. So I'm kind of a little bit out of the loop.
Basically, my stance is simple, man. I do not blame whites for black dysfunction. That's not what this is about. My argument is not that racism is to blame for black people's current state or anything like that. No, it's not totally, it's not innocent, you know, but it's not totally to blame. But people that want to completely deny that racism exists, these niggas out here that want to live in this fucking fantasy land acting like racism is not an issue, when you've got the fucking federal government coming out with reports admitting that people with these violent ideologies are infiltrating government positions where they have authority over common American citizens. These people have a license to kill. And people that want to say that this is not a problem, who, again, when have I ever said that this problem is to blame for single moms or any of that shit? I've never said that. But is it a problem? Yes, it's a fucking problem. If you call yourself any sort of constitutionalist, you agree.
Okay. So it's such a problem that according to Statista.com, in 2019, 235 black people were killed by police. And the links to.
Yeah, I already used that one. I already posted that one, Little Big Nate. I used the same that you did.
And 370 white men were murdered in 2019 by police. Did you use that, Mr. Fantastic?
Yep, I use that too, bro.
Oh, you did? Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah,
well, yeah. That was the thing with me. I mean, you know, the word problem. I don't know that white racism is a problem for Black America. You know, if we consider the top 10 problems for Black America, racism would be number 20, 30, 40, 50.
Okay, but it's a problem.
Okay, let
That's
me.
basically all I'm saying. I'm not saying it's a number one problem. I've never said it's a top 3 problem. You look at my content, I do not believe that racism is one of the top problems for black people. Okay. But again, running around saying that no, it's we live in this post-racial society, everyone's equal, there's equal opportunity, when again you've got knowledgeable intellectuals, Harvard Business Institute saying no, they're doing studies and they're coming out with reports saying no.
That was 2017. I gave you, it was 2017, and I gave you the 2019 data that shows you the increase of black people in the workforce, the increase of black income overall. That does not mean that
hiring discrimination is not a problem.
Again,
and
bro,
again, we know how unemployment numbers are compiled. Can you eliminate
100% of any type of discrimination? Yes or no?
No, you can't.
All right, then. So why are we having this discussion?
So we still shouldn't talk about it?
Well, I mean, you just
try to fight against it,
brother. This is how debates work. Listen, this is what I'm trying to tell you.
So don't fight against it.
Well, I'll let you go.
Fester. Let it fester. That's your argument,
brother.
Let's wait until we got 50% skinheads in the police departments before we do something about it, right?
Brother, I let you go. So let me answer the question again. You're never going to eliminate racism, sir. You're never going to do it.
We can eliminate skinheads in the goddamn police department.
No, you cannot. No, you cannot. Because you know what people can do? People can hide their identities and their intentions. People can literally hide their genders nowadays.
You can stop with all this bullshit legislation that cops can hide behind that makes them unaccountable for their fucking decisions. That's one thing you can do.
I'm trying to teach you and answer your question at the same time. You're trying to fight against something that where the amount of it is not worthy enough of it being a true issue and problem. Black people have way too many other fish to fry, so to speak, that are far more detrimental in present time than racism from white people, bro. You don't have enough weight. You don't have enough interaction.
The federal government disagrees with you, bro.
No, they don't.
It's big enough of a problem for the FBI to investigate.
Shout out to blackmail first.
It's a big enough problem for the federal government to come out with reports about it, saying it's a problem for national security.
And the same FBI. Hold up, little big Nate, real quick. Shout out to blackmail first. Like I said, remember you claimed it was Trump's FBI. This is the same FBI that was investigating him secretly and illegally,
working against
the same FBI. It was the same FBI that again put out a dossier against him.
Bottom line, it was under his administration, and you can't claim some liberal conspiracy.
The administration is perfectly trying to undercut him, undermine him.
Director. So I mean, ain't nobody trying to hear that. Bottom line is, this is your fucking appointee. It's the same as how's he complaining about his judges that he appointed throwing out his bullshit ass lawsuits.
And sir, you don't think that with the way the media. There were Harvard studies, Yale studies showing that 96 to 93% of the news reported by MSNBC and CNN were all negative on Trump. You don't think it would be advantageous for these same deep state elements in the FBI to put out anything that feeds into this narrative of this wide?
Well, first off, that's your opinion that they were all negative on Trump. You don't
think it would be advantageous to put out reports crying about all this widespread racism when more white men die every year at the hands of police than black people? It doesn't make any sense.
But they came out with the same shit in 2006, though. Under a Republican administration. So what was the motivation then? What was the motivation then?
It proves that this is not a new phenomenon. I think it would have been much easier.
Okay, so it's it's an old. So it's a long-standing festering problem. Okay.
No, actually, just math.
Let me finish. So you don't think it was easier in small towns in Georgia, Alabama, during the 40s, 50s?
By the way, more white men dying, that doesn't mean shit. That doesn't mean anything.
Of course it doesn't.
One, there's more.
No, it just speaks against this widespread racism. When
nobody's saying it. Nobody's saying again. No one's saying that there's 50% of cops and there's all. But it is a problem. It's a fucking problem. So you've got your numbers stating that more whites are dying. Okay. I've got my studies from the fucking federal government saying that this is a problem. So what do we have?
Can we go one at a time? Can we go one at a time?
So the same federal government that says this is a problem says nothing about the 22 million dead black children through abortion. That's not a problem.
I think it's a problem.
I'm supposed to that is a problem. To this federal government. All because the federal government says something. The federal government said that the Gulf of Tonkin incident that brought us into the Vietnam War was legit. They said 9/11 was legit. I'm supposed to worry about what the federal government says about everything. Is that what you're basing your?
I'm pretty sure you're getting you're advocating for white men. I'm pretty sure you got your numbers from the government.
Anybody, sir.
I'm pretty sure you got your numbers from the government too.
And I especially
I don't understand why you're trying to discredit.
who are
government numbers and data.
who are so preoccupied with racism, they have nothing to say about 22 million dead.
I'm not. Listen, that's not my perspective. That's not where I'm coming from. So I don't know where
you're
going.
Of course not. Of course not. You want to complain
You
about
know
white
black
men.
people were murdered?
No, that's not where I'm coming from.
About the
That's
white
not,
man,
but
bro.
you want to completely deny that racism is a problem.
No one's denying it.
That's what you guys want to do.
You're lying. Nobody's denying it. You're lying. You create straw men. That's what
Mute up if you're on your motorcycle, goddamn it. If you're riding your motorcycle, goddamn it, mute up. And hold on. Yeah, man. If you ride your motorcycle, man, mute up, goddamn it, till you park in the garage.
Can we be respectful? Can we be respectful? Can we be respectful and not have another debate and ask questions as you asked us to do when we came on the panel? The debate is over.
Hold on a second, OG. Hold on, because these super chats are starting to run up, and I don't want to miss them. Shout out to Counselor Murray with the $10 super chat. He said, "Shout out." Can somebody mute up? I know y'all partying. I know y'all partying over there. Goddamn it, mute up while y'all drinking your liquor. Shout out to Counselor Murray for the $9.99 super chat. He said, "Shout out to Fantastic. Stop being so emotional. Stop being scared of racism. It's 2020. It's time to beat it." Somebody got to mute up, man.
You got to mute. It's OG. But they got to mute him. X, I don't think he knows. You got to mute him, OG.
I got it.
Mute up.
Okay.
I actually agree with Counselor Murray. I agree with Counselor Murray. We do need to beat it, but some people want to. Hold on
a second, brother TVA. Counselor Murray again with the $4.99 super chat. He said, "Racism is not going anywhere. Stop being scared of statues." Then Counselor Murray with another one. Counselor Murray showing out tonight, boy. Another $5 super chat. Appreciate that, brother. He said, "My guy Chaos, salute." Then Counselor Murray with another one with the quad on us, boy. Counselor Murray got that money, boy. Another $9.99 super chat. He says, "Xavier, salute." No salute to you, brother, because you're dropping all kinds of coins up in here tonight. I gotta run. I gotta step off for a few minutes, y'all. Somebody is here, so I'm gonna drop down. Brother Fantastic, could you please take the wheel? I'll be back in about 10 minutes. So, Brother Fantastic, you got the shit, man. I'll be back in about 10 minutes.
I bet. All right, so who else had a question?
I have a question.
Go ahead.
I have two questions. Just like to say good evening to the good debate tonight and to both of you brothers. My question is, Mr. Fantastic, when you started off the debate, you said you wasn't going to tell her the truth because you wasn't going to lose your job. And then in the same statement you said just before that, you said that every American citizen has the right to say and do, have the freedom of expression. And you said they can go and take anybody to court who will deny them of that. Well, my question to you is, why would you think, if you thought so much highly of the Constitution, of the laws of this land, why did you feel like you was going to lose your job? That's my first question. Second question is, do you have any statistics on how many Black police officers have killed unarmed white citizens in this country?
So the first question, again, two things can be correct at the same time. We all know, even though you have freedom of speech, when you work for certain people, there's certain things you just cannot say. I cannot go to the middle of my job today and say F all LGBTQ members. That would be a freedom of speech, but at the same time, it would be a conflict of interest on other things as far as me saying that. So me saying something against my boss, who is ultimately the president of the United States, would not be wise, as I did the same thing when the last president was president. Again, I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna depend on y'all to feed me. So I'm just acting smartly. Secondly, as far as the thing goes, the second question was, what was the second question again?
The second question was, do you have any numbers on Black police officers killing unarmed white citizens of this country.
No, but I know you don't have white police officers killing black unarmed either. They don't give you the racial demographics of the police officers doing the shootings. They just let you know that they're police officers. So just like you can't find it, I can't find it for black people killing white people or black police killing white citizens. You won't find it for white citizens killing white police officers killing black citizens either.
Well, how do you know that more whites are dying and all this? How do you know?
Oh, those are right there in the FBI stats.
Yeah, it tells you that it does tell you the race of the victim, bro. It doesn't tell you the race
of the police officer.
Yeah, it don't tell you the race of the police officer, sir. It tells you the race of the victim.
Okay. I just the first answer you gave me. And this is not me trying to debate you, but I'm just saying is for the same provision that you would take cautions of why you wouldn't do something like that. How about people who live in fear that they are being judged unjustly because of skin color and they don't take the same action, but you saying they should strap up by their bootstrap and step forward?
Well,
I'm just putting it out there, my brother. That's all I'm at. I mean, I know y'all don't want to hear this, but your children go out to deal.
I don't have a problem here. Listen, this is anecdotal evidence for me, but again, using myself as the example, and again, plenty of other dudes in this space as an example. Again, bro, we can't. Racism isn't holding anyone back. This isn't your time. This is your era. With all due respect, respectfully, OG. Again, this is 2021, bro. No one is being held back and prevented from getting jobs, opportunities, buying property, investing, any of the things that can make you a successful United States citizen. If that is done, hold on, wait.
That's the case, I'm just saying, if that's the case, Mr. Fantastic, I mean, you got the mic. The mic is big on your end. I'm just asking questions. If that was the case, why do you have cases after cases of a case in bank institution being sued by United States government for doing certain unethical things in certain communities? And I won't even say black communities because I know that would like throw some of y'all back and throw you back.
Well, no. Well, actually, it's not just it is black people, but it's not just black people. It's impoverished people.
I understand what I'm just saying. It's an unbiased. Women say it's an unbalance of when it comes to people of color, and I hate using that fucking word. But I mean, just in this communication that we're doing right about now. But you know what? Either way, when it's all said and done, we go all figure it out. And so I just believe from these type of debates, one way or the other, the people who walks away from this more happy than anybody is somebody who don't look like us. Thank you for your answers.
Let me say this. I would disagree with that. I don't think they walk away happy at all because they're not listening to us. They don't care. This argument. Hold on a little bit, Nate, and I'll kick it to you. Listen. White people do not have an obsession with black people. They don't give a damn about what black people are doing. It's not enough.
That's a goddamn lie. They stay in our shit. They stay in our shit.
You proving my point. They don't, bro. Again, this is the true issue and problem and crux that I was trying. That you're now proving after the fact. You have an obsession with racism and white people. White people don't care about.
You think white people as a community ain't paying attention to black people? Bro, you out of your damn mind, bro.
They have no reason to. You have the highest poverty rate. You have the lowest income of any demographic. You have the highest STD rate. You have the lowest marriage rate. What are you saying? What reason does white people have to worry about you? Why would they not be worried about Hispanics, who Hispanics have bought the most homes over the last 2 years? Why they not be worried about Asians, even though Asians only make up 5% of the fucking population?
Mr. Fantastic. Mr. Fantastic, can I ask you one more question since you brought that?
OG, hold on. You got to mute up because you got a lot of feedback. Okay. Let me finish and we'll go back around. So again, why would they be worried about? Why wouldn't they be worried about Asians when Asians are the highest earning demographic in the country? Tell me the reason they have to worry about niggas.
They watch them too.
No, they don't. Exactly. They watch them. They're not watching niggas. They don't have to watch niggas. They have no reason to. You're beneath them.
They watch us and them. They watch both.
They don't. Bro, they don't watch black people. They don't.
Proof of it.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, bro. Now, because you don't have story after story of black organizations being infiltrated by whites,
by the government, right? You don't have story after story of that, right?
They're infiltrated by blacks that white people send
They're
in.
infiltrated by niggas that work
They're
for the
infiltrated
government,
by
but bottom
people that look like
line,
you.
they're
They're
reporting
infiltrated by
to
people that look
whites, so
like
they're
you.
watching.
Oh my God. I
Are
swear
they
to
not
God,
reporting to whites? Those blacks that they send, who's sending them? Who's sending them to infiltrate us? Whites, the government.
So the blacks
watching,
being
nigga.
sent are victims
The fuck
too,
are you
right?
talking about?
Everybody's
You
a
really
victim.
think they're not watching you, nigga?
Everybody's a victim with you guys. Everybody.
So I get from this, Mr. Fantastic. So I get from this, Mr. Fantastic. I get from this is, since white people are not worried about us because we on the lower totem pole on everything, I would have one question. Is it a unique that black people experience and where they stand as far as now in 2021? Is that just because we the dumbest people on this earth, or is it a unique experience that we have had in the Western Hemisphere? I need to know what would be the answer. So if I agree with everything that you just said, why are we in the condition that we are in? Are we just the dumbest people on this planet?
Well, I'm gonna say the dumbest people on the planet, but what I'll say is we pay attention at least and implement.
Yes, there are too many stupid niggas on this planet.
Yes. Hold on. He asked me the question, then I'm pretty sure you'll be able to answer it after me. We pay attention the least and we implement working strategies the least compared to any other demographic on the planet. Black people have been one of the original people that were on this continent, okay, in this country, and yet and still, like I said, we are still the least of the least. Asians have came here and outperformed us, outpaced us. Hispanics that came here outperformed us, outpaced us. Immigrants are even.
Why don't you talk about all those poor ass Asians in the Philippines and Cambodia though? Why don't we only cherry picking the few Asians that come over here?
Why in the world
if they're so much better than us?
In the Philippines.
Excuse me, my brother. Can I hear his answer? I understand, but can I hear his answer, please? I really want to hear his answer.
Okay. All right, so again, at the end of the day, OG, intelligence has a big part to do with it because unfortunately, niggas aren't that smart. I'm sorry.
You got just as many Asians as fishermen on fisher boats. So stop that
not in America.
argument. That's a American lie. Now you talking that bullshit, talking about Asians are inherently more intelligent, and that's a fucking lie. Because African immigrants come here and outpace them, dude.
Not in America.
Mr. Fantastic, it was nice talking to you. Nice seeing you guys again.
African immigrants come to America and they outpace Asians and whites. That's a statistical fact.
And
African immigrants come here and they outshine them academically. That's a fact, bro.
Now you're trying
I appreciate you brothers putting up with an old ass man like me, but listen to this conversation tonight. Not you specifically, Mr. Fantastic, but just the way this era is going, I believe some of you brothers would have shot Martin Luther King in the head. Good night.
Okay.
He was a coon.
Luther King in the head.
Wow. Oh shit, OG, that is so deep.
That's crazy. Hey, look, I'll go.
Martin Luther King was a coon up until the last moment.
When you look at it, Martin Luther King was a communist, so I'm just saying.
I don't know about that communist shit, but he was a coon. He was on that integration bullshit. I don't agree with that.
Do your research, sir.
Okay, I think integration was his biggest mistake, not communism. Get the fuck out of here. You think that was his biggest mistake?
I have a question for the people who, find a racist white man under every can of grape soda. Why
you said that, not me? You said that, not me, dude. I'm gonna stop letting you niggas put words in my mouth. I never said that.
And so prevalent. If it's such a huge problem,
I think most white people are very decent. Actually,
somebody get a sentence out when they try to get up here and talk. You interrupted everybody. Let me please get a sentence out. Thank you. If
you okay, brother?
You see, fucking leftist, man.
I mean, you screaming and shit. You're all right.
You fucking leftist. You're so hard. You're so incapable.
First off, I'm a conservative. I'm a conservative.
Mic. Let somebody else have the mic. So, if racism is such a huge problem today, what I'd be interested in knowing is how did black people form over 160 towns after 1865, thriving economic,
many of which were burned down by racist white people. Many of which were burned down by racist white mobs.
My statement.
Okay, tell the whole story though. Tell the whole story.
I'm done. I'm done.
I'm just saying, if you're going to mention the towns, mention why they're not here.
Go ahead and talk.
Did I lie? Did I lie?
You are
no African man. You didn't lie.
You are
some did survive, and some were destroyed.
I'm not going to talk unless you shut up and let me finish my statement.
Everybody needs to talk.
Let me finish my statement.
First off, this is our debate. I mean, but go ahead and say what you got to say, man. This was our debate, though. I mean, I was invited.
And I was invited up here also.
Okay, well, go ahead and speak, man.
Thank you. Thank you. So, first of all, there were some towns that were destroyed by white racists. The vast majority of them were not, number one. Number two, why did these same black people have an 80% marriage rate in the midst of the most virulent and obvious racism you can imagine? Why did the black dollar in towns like Black Wall Street and Greenwood and other settlements, why did the black dollar circulate there from 3 to 5 years instead of 3 to 6 hours like it does today? The OG gentleman came up and asked, well, what's going on? Why are black people in the condition we're in? We're in the condition we're in because we've completely become wholly owned subsidiaries of the Democrat Party. And our women can slaughter 350,000 children every year. It's no big deal. Black women think they can be morbidly obese. The Democrat Party tells them that that's okay. We're a group of people who, instead of taking advantage of a country that is replete with opportunities, we sit around complaining and whining, and we're defeatist. Before so many black men even try to accomplish anything, they give up and say they won't be able to do it. That's why we're in almost last place. And actually, black men, in spite of how we were raised, we're actually doing pretty well in this country. 64% in the middle class. There's a think tank called the Family Research Council. They said that I can pull it up if you'd like. 1/3 of black men are in the upper middle class in America. So all this doom and gloom, all this talk of all this racism and all these horrible things that are happening. I've asked several of these goofy, kufi wearing no-teps. I've asked them, I said, please, sir, give me the racism you've faced. You, not the racism you're experiencing vicariously through George Floyd or someone else. Tell me about the racism you faced in the last 12 months. The niggas all go, Then I say, okay. How about over the last 36 months? Tell me about the racism you have faced in the last 36 months. I said, I tell you what, let's stretch it out to 60 months. Tell me about the racism you, Mr. Hotep, racism under every fucking bag of hot flaming Cheetos. Tell me the racism you have faced in the last 60 months. I've asked 2 different Hoteps this, they have no answer. Just like they have no answer about black women and abortion and them slaughtering almost 1/3 of our people in the last 46 years. But none of you seem to think that's a big deal. None of you. But white men, racism, when 235 black people were killed by police and 7,480 black people were killed through murder in 2019, and 96% of those black people were murdered by other black people, but not a fucking peep.
They're both problems. That's my point. They're both problems. They're both problems. Black on black crime is a problem. And police brutality is a problem.
One is a problem of a small cut on your forearm. The other, your arm just got shot off with a monster.
That's your opinion. Okay, well that small cut on the forearm is by the federal government is being called.
I know. The federal government, enemy. The same federal government's out to destroy the black man. Now you're quoting them. Get out of here, man.
I didn't say that. Who the fuck said that? I never said that. I never fucking said that.
They all share your sentiment. All these niggas share sentiment of guys like
I'm
you.
me. I'm
You are
me. I'm the
defeated.
village
You
arsonist.
are
I don't speak for
broken
those
black
niggas.
men.
Thank you, sir.
Hold on a second, because we got a couple people that just came up here. We ain't heard nothing from Brother Hulk. Brother Hulk, what's good? What's good with it, man? Go ahead, man. You got it.
Yeah, what's going on, y'all? So I want to start with this, man. We got to understand that life isn't fair. It's never going to be. It's never has been. All civilizations with hierarchies where there's one person in charge over a lot of people, it's always been done in corruption. There's never been a civilization that cared about people outside of, using them for their personal self-interest. So we have to be realistic. Realistically, like if we look at racism, the reason why the government pushes racism is because it's a perfect Trojan horse to create government policy to control everyone. And this is how it does it. Racism, you divide the people and you impoverish one people. And what do? They want to be dependent on the government to solve all their problems. The issue with that is we can look at integration. We can start at integration. Integration led to welfare, feminism, abortion, LGBT. So we know that civil rights was just a Trojan horse to bring in nefarious agendas. That's another thing. Another issue is when you use the narrative of racism, you create the government's give the government the power to legislate free will. You can't stop people from hating you. There's nothing you can do to stop people from hating you without stripping the free will of everybody. And that's what we see happening now. You can't speak, you have censorship, you have all these things. So there's no freedom of speech, there's no freedom of religion. And that ultimately destroys crucial values needed for society not to cannibalize itself. So we have to be honest. Classism is what's always existed. It's always been about the rich trying to maintain their wealth at the expense of everyone else. That's the world we live in. That's how it started. It was built on violence. All civilizations use slavery, violence. Slavery existed on every continent among every people. And it first started with every people enslaving their own people. That's the way of the world. This utopian, idealistic mindset that people have, that one day people are going to just walk around, that's heaven. That's not earth. There's never been a time on earth where a civilization did that. You can go back thousands of years. So I don't know why people think that somehow we're going to walk into that when we clearly see what's happening now is the government is becoming large, they're having oversight, and they're taking away everybody's rights and freedom because we want to not take personal responsibility for life being unfair. You can't control what family you're born into. You can't control the state of the family you're born into. All you can control is how you react to your own personal, unique circumstances, and you use wisdom and you use whatever you can to try to survive. That's why they're destroying masculinity. That's why they're destroying all these other crucial things. They're destroying men. How do you think that started? All of this is to destroy personal sovereignty and bring everybody under government control. That was the true, and that's why racism, sexism, all these isms are just to get people to buy into complete government domination. Yeah, this whole dependence and begging for your enemies to be nice is how you could create a totalitarian government. So I'll pass the mic.
Sad, man.
Why you fantastic? Why you telling the dude out in chat, bro?
That dude stalked me, bro. I'm not dealing with this. I told that nigga not to talk to me ever again.
No, I'm see the comments you
Hold
deleted.
on a second. Hold on a second.
Don't question me. You don't got enough rank here, bro. Don't worry about it.
Hold on a second. Hold on a second.
Hold on.
Hold on a second. Hold on a second. I want to get brother Side Tice up in here. What's good with it, brother Side Tice?
No. Chaos was before me, brother Zave, and good evening to the panel. So go ahead, Chaos.
Brother Chaos, what you got, man? Pull the trigger.
Let me see if my mic's working. Hey, what's good, man? What's good? I mean, I'm not sure why we have these debates. We already know what the issue is with this country. Is it racist? Yes. Is black people doing nothing about it? No. So why are we still having these conversations? It becomes fruitful after a while. Accept the oppression, accept the so-called totalitarianism that's already here. It's not coming, it's already here. And at the end of the day, when we look at why they always do this, simple, to depopulate people. This is where it boils down to, because what outcomes you doing by creating the feminism, by removing rights, doing all this extra stuff. And we're not gonna go into conspiracy theories because that's a waste of time. Most people don't want to hold on conspiracy, but at the end of the day, if it's conspiracized, it's going to happen right now or eventually in time. The end game is to really control numbers, control people. That's it. I mean, I think if you all know the match number that they want population-wise to match people so that easy control is less people. That's why technology is essential to make this a reality. If we look at when we have industrializations moving to technical age, you see the requirement of people are less. So what you're gonna do to what they call eliminate people, you let them cannibalize themselves. As you know, the Black community has been in this direction now for
60 years.
50 years now, since the 70s.
60.
We could say 60, but I would say mostly starting in the 70s. After all that civil rights, all that nonsense gone by, when we hit to 70s, then it start to turn around. But this is a process just to cannibalize ourselves, including the European people. Normally they help with the cannibalization, but we know their history, they like to kill each other anyway. So when they kill each other, it's nothing surprising. It's the only thing that Black people complain about is don't kill us, let us do it ourselves. That's why Black people have no problem with Black on Black violence in our communities, because as long as us, it's fine. We don't say nothing. But when an outside force kills us, it's a big deal because he should not step in during our cannibalization of ourselves. So that's why when you hear people say why we don't deal with the Black on Black violence in our community, because we just don't. As men, we're not gonna waste time. Especially with the women that's getting attacked, we don't care about that shit. I mean, that's if whatever they do to cause it, they're on their own. So the point is this, that to have these conversations about is racism still existing, is it relevant, are we good? We all know the answer as men, no, we're not good. We seem like we're doing good, but we're not. We should be doing a lot better now than we are now. But the biggest question is, are we going to work with each other to make this a reality, or are we just going to sit back and bitch and complain? That's what I'm going to say.
Well, what we need to do is work with like-minded Black men. This idea of unity, this idea of being able to drag people kicking and screaming towards success, that's never going to work. The only Black people we should be concerned about are the productive class and those who want to be a part of the productive class. Those happy getting all of their sustenance from the government largesse, let them fucking drown. Let them drown, okay? You don't want to work? You're a fucking man and you don't want to work? You're a woman and you think you can you think you can engage in all these self-destructive behaviors that the Democrats and the leftists promote and promulgate to Black people, and there won't be a price for you to pay, Black woman. No, you're paying the price right now. 26% marriage rate. You're paying the price right now. You slaughter 40% of your children every year. You're paying the price right now. Keep on listening to these Luciferians on the left and doing everything that they tell you to do. Yeah, I've seen billboards congratulating Black women for the Biden win. Congratulations. You voted a woman that you let her being 1/4 Black and completely ignored the fact she's for abortion up to and including the day the child's due. But that doesn't matter to you at all. Doesn't mean a fucking thing to you. As long as you get to twerk in the street and have all your homosexual buddies twerking with you, all
come on, Nate, let's get off
glorious picture. Congratulations.
Hey, you're not so right. They love entering with the homosexuals. They have homosexual friends more than anybody else. The females.
Hey, let's keep
let me jump in and say this real quick, bro. Like, fantastic, good debate, man. You know, X, man, really, you know, shout out to you, man. I salute you, man. But I gotta call some shit out, bro. You know what I'm saying? Niggas been in chat talking cash shit about me. I'm seeing it. I ain't saying shit, ain't complaining. I had a wrench. I ain't silencing anybody. But this bitch ass nigga has people saying shit about him. He wants to silence him and shit.
So people can talk mad shit about me, but you want to silence motherfucker. No, he didn't break any fucking rules, nigga. The Streamlabs, the bot didn't get, he wasn't breaking any rules, bro. He ain't starting anything. People talking cash shit about me, but you want to censor people, dude.
I do bitch ass nigga.
That's bitch ass shit, bro. So shout out to you, shout out to everybody else, man. But I can't fuck with fuck niggas, man. That's some fuck nigga shit, dude. Real talk, man. That's real talk, bro. He didn't dox you. He didn't threaten you. None of that shit, bro.
Fat fuck. Shut the fuck up.
Now you emotional. Now you're emotional.
You fat fuck ass nigga.
Now you screaming into the mic, nigga. So you's a bitch, bro.
You're a bitch, bro. Trying to get on ass the fuck up, nigga. Since you want to motherfucking talk about it, let me tell you. This whole ass nigga.
I'm not trying to hear it, bro. He's not a troll, bro.
You don't got no clout, so you don't have these problems. So let me explain it to you.
What are you talking about, dude?
Let me explain it to you.
Really? I'm not one of the cool kids. I'm not one of the cool kids, bro.
You got a problem with running your fat ass mouth.
I can't sit at your lunch table, bro.
You got a problem with running your fat ass mouth. Put a burger in it. I know you hungry and I learned something. So because you ain't got no clout, nigga, what don't happen to you? You don't have stalkers.
Man, don't make me go get China White. Don't make me go get China White.
China White? What the fuck?
You hate
how long did you drive to get ghosted, bro?
This is why.
Do that.
How long, when you think about that Miss Pussy the whole ride back?
Fuck you, fat ass nigga.
Anyway, shout out to you, X man. Salute to everybody. He's lame, bro. I can't fuck with his lame ass, bro.
Hold on a second. Let me.
Nigga, that's trying to get off my dick, nigga. Got all this name dropping shit, nigga. Everybody want to get on, nigga. You coming through me, hoe ass nigga. Remember that? Why you sucking on my motherfucking nuts, nigga?
Hold on a second.
Hold on. I just want to ask a about the
hold on a second, brother Side Ties. Hold on. Infantry Skills with the $5 super chat. He says, fantastic. One day you're pretending to be a Pookie. The next day you want. Well, don't super chat, man, to come at nobody, man. I mean, don't.
X, let me explain it to the people. X, I had to block this man on 7 different email accounts, bro. Like I'm not playing. Really 3 different emails. If y'all want to see it, I can prove it to you. So remember when the nigga, what's his name, used to be that was claiming that he wanted taking my content and put it, and I gave y'all receipts the last time. These niggas act like I don't keep these receipts. This nigga threatened gunplay, man. I told that man after he threatened gunplay, bro, don't ever talk to me ever again, nigga. In my shit, anywhere, just don't talk to me. So that's why I timed him the fuck out. I'm not gonna allow a nigga that's threatening my life, bro. Personally, took time out of his day to send emails to me from 3 different accounts. If I tell you and I don't talk to him, if I say don't talk to me, nigga, don't talk to me. It's very simple, and he's still doing it. This is what stalkers do. This shit is sad, and this is why this is what's wrong with this space. You get a nigga like fucking TVA that again hopped on my dick the first time because he want to get on. Niggas want to get on YouTube, get on, get some clout, get some recognition, nigga. That's why you coming through me, nigga. Be glad you don't have my problems. And as far as bitches throwing me pussy, nigga, come holler at me when you get a bitch to throw pussy at you and admit on the internet that she wanted to be in a relationship with you. You ugly, fat, bald, sloppy ass nigga that can't debate. So you welcome, nigga. You welcome. You earned this motherfucking clout that you chased. You could have got this and stayed here, but again, that's all you lame ass niggas do. You niggas talk all this shit about motherfuckers that you wish you could be over something simple as YouTube, and y'all grown, man. This shit is sad. But don't question me about shit I do, nigga. If I do it, it's for a fucking reason. I got other stalker ass niggas, and this other lame ass nigga that's been stalking me for over a year. I didn't motherfucking block him. I just let him be a fan. I don't have nothing personal against him. He's just a lame ass fan ass nigga that love having my motherfucking name and my dick in his mouth. I don't have no problem. But when a man personally takes time out of his day from 3 different email accounts to talk shit to me, and I block this man on 3 different email accounts, and he's talking about on some gunplay shit, I have a problem with that. And I will block him if I fucking said don't say nothing to me. Point blank, period.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. As far as brother TVA goes, and you know, TVA's been around this channel a lot lately, and I don't really have a problem with him. But I mean, brother TVA, I don't second guess my moderators. I mean, if you got a wrench and you feel the need to club somebody in the head with the motherfucker, You know, it is what it is. You know, that's yeah. I mean, you have a wrench. That's why you have a wrench. Me giving you a wrench is me saying, you know, club motherfuckers in the head, you know, with it. If you feel like they're acting up, just like that robot that's in that chat. That
he knew. Actually, don't even know, but he don't even know that, man. That's what I'm talking about. This nigga, that dude, bro. This dude, all he does is spam chat. He spams. We've been figured that out months ago. This dude don't even take the time to type something new. Actually, just spams the whole fucking shit over and over and over and over and over again. And then, like I say, he takes time out of his day to send motherfuckers long ass motherfucking diatribes, emails, and theses and shit. I ain't got time for that, man. I just simply ask the man, leave me the fuck alone, bro. Don't mention my name. Say what the fuck you gotta say, but don't talk to me.
Yeah, I don't really. Everybody knows that about me. If you in my chat and you got a wrench, the wrench is for clubbing. I mean that's what it's for. I mean it's for cracking skulls. You know, I mean, if you find yourself getting timed out or blocked, obviously you've done something. And I don't second guess my moderators, man. I just don't. Just like I don't second guess that fucking robot, because I was watching it tonight. Chop a lot of motherfuckers' heads off, and you know, it is what it is, man. The chat room is fickle. This is one chat room where you cannot say all kinds of shit. You know, I know we all believe in freedom of speech, but you can't yell fire in a crowded movie theater, and certain shit you're not going to be able to say inside of T.P.O.T. Those of you who follow T.P.O.T. know that. What's good, brother Sos? I see you up there, man. I mean, those of you who follow the Proper Thought series, y'all know how we do it here. And because if you say certain things, if a human moderator doesn't get you, that bot will eventually. It'll eventually tire of you, and it'll get you up out of here. It ain't gonna time you out. It ain't gonna warn you. It's just gonna get you up out of here. That's what it's gonna do. It's very sensitive. So you gotta kind of be careful what you write up in this chat room. I'm just saying. That is all. Who we got?
I'll go next.
Who we got next? Go ahead, brother. Side Tice.
Wow, damn, the wind is out of my sail. Good evening, fellas. Again, shout out to the chat. Damn, let me wake up a bit or whatever. Couple points of clarity and some critique to both Fantastic and Village Arsonist. Fantastic, I've heard you on these debates before, and you're actually generally pretty good, but sometimes when you're harping on the same point, it kind of loses it. You know, if he was reading that the Village Arsonist, the point that he kept on reading, you could have just acknowledged that and moved it on past the point of the discussion. My simple opinion of it is it relevant? Yeah, but as Nate said, it's not a top 10 or 15 issue. But if we want to hang a pin on the thread that is relevant, okay, so be it. But whatever, we could have, did that better. I do think some of you guys, or you guys both made good points. But here's the points of contention that, or I said clarification that I like to say. And Chaos, I get it, what you said earlier, and you were right. But the reason we're having these conversations is that everyone isn't always familiar with these. Now, we are familiar with each other, but sometimes there's new people that need to hear these. Now, I'm not saying it needs to be as redundant, but again, a lot of people are just single issue voters. And that was one point that I was wishing came out in the debate. Just because you vote for somebody doesn't mean you abide by everything. Some people, it's just one issue that they're focused on, and that's it. All right. So one of the points, that out the way now. One of the points, actually, there were 2 points. First point, so, and Village Arsonist, I wish you were up here so I could have said this to you. Hopefully you listen in the background. You were mentioning about the FBI statistics that were being used to explain the crime or what have you. And then you were pointing about how it's been infiltrated by so-called racists. I don't use that white supremacy term. All right. That's a fair point, regardless of when it happens. That's a fair point. But you're basically saying, well, why is this true? This isn't true. So what I was trying to say in the chat, but I'm going to clarify, and I'm going to post this link in the chat right now, and it's in the chat right now. Basically, the FBI doesn't compile the statistics. The statistics are compiled by the Uniform Crime Reporting Program, which is basically 18,000 cities, universities and colleges, counties and states that basically submit their statistics to it. They're cross-referenced, reconciled, and then the FBI just reports it. Okay, so it's a different thing. You can't say that, well, they said this, but then that must mean it's true or this. No. Now, is it the same umbrella agency? Absolutely. Okay, so now that we understand that, I left the link in the chat of the Uniform Crime Report program. The other point is when it was said about Trump's FBI, Obama's FBI, and all this. Okay, the FBI director is a 10-year position. It is appointed by the president and the Senate. There is overlap in various administrations. So when that was happening in 2006, that was under Robert Mueller, and his tenure ended into Obama's second term, and it began under Bush. James Comey, who we're all familiar with, or those of us who really follow these politics or whatever, he, for whatever reason, only had a 4-year term. So the point is that that wasn't necessarily a Trump's or Obama FBI, and then once this president come in, it's not like these positions that are all appointees. Some of them have overlap, and it doesn't mean that, well, this president is, so they're going to all go through his policies. So that's all I'm just simply saying. I just wish at the end that the debate, it could have been examples like, for example, when we think of racism, and I'll shut up after I say this, when we think of racism, and there's a reason, and Hulk alluded to this earlier, when we think of racism, where is it shown to us? It's always, why do you think even when you're watching a basketball game, they're showing those same old clips we've been seeing since we were a kid, from the water hoses or the marches or this or that? Okay, that's overt, outwardly actions, but we need to look at the so-called real racism, the redlining. I like the fact that the brother Village Arsonist brought up how job discrimination exists. In that report, I have another report that actually goes into more depth. The better report would be to look at the discrimination of the guys with the same qualifications that don't get the jobs. Now, that does exist, but we need to look at it at that level because they recognize they can't do things on the surface like they once used to, lynch mobs and things of that nature. So it's a little under the surface. And a lot of this even gets into cyber things. I mean, I can't believe you guys, of all people, and I'll end on this, how y'all have been shadow banned at times, based on your content. That is an example of what we say racism. Oh, one more thing. I know I said I would be ending. My point about, I sent a super chat and I basically said, if racism is true, blah, 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 doesn't this exist for both sides? And he had said, what was my point? Okay, you heard this old myth that black people can't be racist because they don't have no power. Well, that's bullshit. I'm not saying that black people don't have power, but you better believe people and groups have used their muscle, whether it's cancel culture, which is what I've used, or charging people with fake racism crimes. And I'm not just saying it's black people doing it, or extortion factors. You must give to our organization XXX%, or must have this many people on your board. And if you don't, we're going to blast you. So, pardon me?
Jesse Jackson. Yeah.
No, well, it wasn't Jesse Jackson. No, this was something that BLM did over the summer. Well, he's done that also
Jackson
too.
And Sharpton's MO.
Right, but
Yeah.
My point is that, and then you have other groups who how do I say this? They funnel the money into these groups for them to be their bad guys of sorts. So that's all I'm just simply saying. Overall, I think that these discussions still need to happen because we still have a lot of people who don't get it. And I think you guys actually, now all that personal shit, that was some bullshit, but I think you guys actually have more in common than you want. And I wish we could work more towards that. But I mean, we got to stop looking at it just our mere complexion means we're all going to have the same viewpoints. We not. And if you all want proof to that, take your black ass to a black country and see, won't your ass get the gringo tax? I'm done.
Yeah, I can say
anybody else?
Yeah,
I got
great
something.
point. Oh, go ahead, Hulk. Go ahead, bro.
You sure?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, thanks, man. You know, like I said before, man, we got to realize, when has the government ever been nice or fair? We got to understand this is a government, and what is the government's main objective for itself is to make sure all the wealth is going where it wants to go for power. That's what this is about. The government is never going to be an entity that's going to care about people outside of using them for its own personal self-interest. And I think Black people have to stop falling for the problem, reaction, solution. Okay, divide and conquer is as old as time itself. You divide people, you can conquer them. And the conquering is everybody. Black people, white people, we're just two sides of the same scheme to control everyone. All right? Why you think that all the white people who everybody thinks have all the power, they have to push government agendas to keep their power? The same reason, the same thing Black people have to do when they get wealth and power. They have to promote government agendas to maintain their wealth and power. That's what this world is. And it's like, and if we go back and just look at things logically, all right, before integration, how did Black people see the government? They saw it as a corrupt entity, right? So why would Black people want to integrate into a corrupt entity? And then why do we, when we integrate into a corrupt entity, what justification do we have to expect fairness when we knew that going in? We don't ask these questions because people are afraid to realize that life isn't fair. Life is hard. That life is not going to just give you anything without using you and deceiving you. This whole world was built on deception and corruption. This is why wisdom is a word that most Black people refuse to acknowledge. Wisdom is basically knowing how to critically think within knowledge of experience and track record and all this other stuff. Is basically having discernment. And discernment means that we would rather be equal than be right. Being right means, the true definition of holy doesn't mean righteous. It means to be set apart, from corruption, from evil. But when you integrate with evil, if you put an equal sign with evil, what does that make the people on the other end? Evil. So Black people are being consumed by the same evil that they claim white people were promoting, because you wanted to be equal to people you saw were doing evil. It's not logical. If you want to come out of something, you're going to have to sacrifice. You're going to have to suffer. Sorry, you don't like that. That's the nature of the world. But it's better to have the wisdom and suffer and know how to move in a world that will always deceive you and use you, than to be played and used to push an agenda that's going to ultimately do the same thing. But the only difference is that we're still expecting heaven from hell. It doesn't make sense. You're expecting your enemies to be nice. Well, that doesn't exist. How many we see the family dynamic is completely destroyed, but we're expecting racism to be a issue to fight when we have no family, and when family and men have no power anymore. The family is all but destroyed. They're stripping the power away from men, but we're expecting to have the arsenal to fight racism. Doesn't make sense. They took all the necessary values out of you just so that the government can consume what's left. Yeah, go ahead.
And the very same people you're at quote unquote war with, the white man, the same people you condemn and hold accountable for all these crimes, even though 98% of white people ain't got nothing to do with the shit you're suffering. These are the same people you're depending on to fix your problem. Who seeks their enemy to fix their problems? Everything that we talk about and do as a collective of Black people is so fucking counterintuitive. It's beyond stupid. I don't even think there's a word to describe how ridiculous the way we think is in a collective sense. Okay? You literally are asking the people you've held accountable for all this horrible stuff you go through to fix your problems for you. You are a fool if you do that. You're a fool.
You're being asked whose problems can this man fix or whatever. So I'm assuming that this is a charge from someone in the chat basically saying that, what can you do or whatever. So I don't know if you're trying to fix the collective. That would be you, sir.
Yeah, I'll answer that. I did what I'm supposed to do, which is get full custody of my 2 children and raise them to be exemplary citizens, a male and a female. That's what I did. Okay.
Well, can you give anyone a business loan? Here, I'm going to answer this one because this is bullshit. These are disingenuous questions. I normally don't like going at the chat because no, I'm not going to go there.
Well, can I hop back in here again, man?
Listen, it's your debate.
Well, this is what I'm saying, man. You got to realize what you're dealing with here, man. A lot of these people don't want they don't want accountability. They don't want responsibility. They want to blame. They want to blame another man that is like little Big Nate said, it's the problem in the L's of all their issues and problems to come and save them, bro. They want that hug, bro. I don't understand it. It doesn't make sense to me. It's just so nonsensical and so illogical. But at the same time, they hate this same old good, horrible white man. They want him to come and apologize and hold them tight and squeeze them and tell them it's gonna be all right, it's gonna be okay, and they're not gonna do nothing wrong to them no more. You know what I'm saying? They're not gonna do them like, you know what I'm saying, that they did they parents and shit in the past. I just don't get it, man. I just don't understand it. If a person is a problem or issue for me, what I'm not gonna do, man, is go to this person for my rescue. That's just what common sense says. But again, bro, far too often than not, we're not taught how to be men as boys. So what you do is you go to somebody else and you tell them, hey, save me. Hey, do this for me. Do that for me. All this other BS. And it's just like, bro, what do you want? What person asked the enemy to save them? I just don't get it.
It's disgusting. We should be embarrassed the way some of these black men act. All the stats would suggest that our most pressing issues are solely our interaction with each other. White people don't give a shit about you. 98% of them are not thinking about you. They want to keep their daughter off a fucking stripper pole. They want to keep their son from being addicted to methamphetamines, and they want to pay their fucking mortgages. They don't give a shit about you. They move away from you. When you
see, by you saying that you're gonna be accused of caping for them and all this.
I don't give a shit what white people
I know you don't. No. I know you don't. But I'm just simply saying how, and I'm being facetious in my delivery here. I'm just simply saying, like, some of these arguments that you hear, back to the point of the debate and the topic, and when I was saying about so-called real racism or how it's being leveraged, and people in the chat are asking, and I saw multiple people asking for this, like the who, what? Oh, God. It's not just so-called white people. I mean, we talk all the time about international bankers and this, and because brothers do not, now here's where I'll indict us, not us, but the collective, because brothers don't want to read or actually try to cross-reference things. This whole template, I mean, you've said this before, Fantastic, but this whole template has been laid down. Hulk went into a spiel that I thought that it would give everybody like, yeah, okay, that does make sense. Okay, I see where they're coming from. Do you think that brothers who have the opposite position of the general status quo in these spaces would risk whatever? People have been doxxed, people have this, if they didn't really think about the overall collective, or are they just caping for white people? I mean, that's the fucking logic. That's what just blows me away. Maybe it's time. Why can't we, and I'm talking as the overall group collective, why can't we, I had to put my biases down and say, okay, let me listen to this. Can I chew the meat and ignore the bones or whatever, or what I don't agree? And then once I started doing that, I mean, I'm 30 plus years into doing this or whatever, but I'm just simply saying every message that comes isn't going to be tailored to your little feelings or whatever. Sometimes it's going to happen. But one of the things that I know, because I'm familiar with every single brother on this panel, is what we've always said is go research it yourself. But I rarely ever hear points that can be backed up with the data, historical. One more point. Nate had mentioned something about Greenwood, the Tulsa, Oklahoma. And one argument I constantly hear, yeah, and when we built it, they burned it. what people, yes, that did happen. That's the narrative. What people don't know is that the black people realize here we got to be more resilient. Exactly. We got to be more resilient. I always have a problem saying that word. We have to be more resilient, and they rebuilt it. And the only reason it fell off 30 years later was due to integration. But that's not told. So we need to stop getting our history. We need to stop getting our history from narrative and actually dig down, because we've done this before. That's why they're keeping us in these emotions and this, or focus on this. Or if I disagree with you, you are a conservative, or you are a Republican, or this, or your daddy Trump, all that goofy ass shit. Man, it's bigger than that. I'm done, and I really am this time.
Hold on a second. Shout out to Fasten His Life for the $4.99 super chat. Appreciate that, brother Fasten. He says, "Envy thou not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways." Proverbs 3:31, King James Version. Appreciate that, Fasten His Life.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead, brother Nate. You got it. Go ahead, Big Nate.
I was about to say, these leftists, these Hollywood pedophile elite have got us, that have our most dominant sports figures coming to the defense of criminals. How stupid did LeBron James look throughout last year's NBA season with all of his all this posturing on behalf of the criminal Miss Taylor? No, what was her name? Breonna. Is it Breonna Taylor?
Breonna Taylor, yeah.
Breonna Taylor. The criminal Breonna Taylor. The criminal George Floyd. Coming to the defense of people that wouldn't. These people would kill your mother if they got in her way of whatever criminal enterprise they were involved in at the time. If your mother got in their way, they would have killed your mother. George Floyd held a gun to a pregnant woman's belly in 2007, and he was convicted of the crime and sentenced to 5 years in 2009. Okay? But he's a hero that we all need to come to the defense of. I swear to God, you niggas do whatever you want to do. This Trump almost got 30% of the black male vote. Okay? More and more black men are coming to the realization that there is no place for us in this Democrat Party. Now, that doesn't mean that there's a place for us necessarily in the Republican Party, but if I'm going to call the Democrat Party what they are. They're the boys can be princesses too party. That's what they are. Okay. And if you're comfortable voting for a group of people who promote and promulgate the worst type of behaviors to the people that are running the black community, which are black women, if you draw no correlation between them voting 95% Democrat and them being 80% overweight, you draw no correlation between them having the highest abortion rate and them being 90 to 95% Democrat. You draw no correlation between black women having the highest STD rate, the highest rate of promiscuity, highest rate of debt, all these horrible stats that they're at the top of, and they are the most stalwart supporters of Democrat ideology and feminist ideology. You see no correlation between that. Black women have been ruined by their relationship with these monsters, and we don't fare much better with our relationship with them either. You come out looking like Michael Eric Dyson and Cornel West, these men who every time they get on TV, they beg and cry and whine for things. If you're okay with that being the black male image, or maybe Billy Porter or all these other fellas, then you keep voting the way you've been voting. But black men are waking up.
If I could say something real if I could say something about the business aspect, because I know people keep bringing up redlining and loan denial and stuff like that. But I want to talk about denial, the issue of being denied something. And we see this happening with what's going on right now in the world. The world shut down and people are denied things because of the agenda, the pandemic or what have you. But then to get things back, what do? They give you the issue to conform to get things back. It's the same thing. Like if you know about what they do with racism, all right, is, okay, if they deny you a bank loan and they say, well, if you want to play our game, you need to conform to our corruption. So now we see more black people willing to form and to conform to the same corruption that they're complaining about to acquire that wealth. And it's the same thing with the LGBT. You know, people have used to have strong values against it, but now when it comes to money, we will sit there and say, well, I'll conform to it to get money. See, they're holding you hostage to conform to their agenda. It's the same thing that's always been. They deny you, they lock you out, and then say if you want to get back into it, you have to do what we want. It's a form of compliance. They call it a compulsory system. That's what this world has always been pushing people to do. Now, black people will promote anything to get money. It's like that movie, that song, the OJ's, for the love of money, you will kill your own brother. We would do anything for the love of money now. We threw away our values, we threw away our family, we threw away everything that had a soul about us for money, just to kill each other, just to steal from each other, and just to lie to each other. Now, what is the value of that?
No, that's a great point. And that's what I get at in that this is how it was. I mean, I hate using this word, but I'm going to say it. It was our unity, and our unity was based on our once collective values, which is why we had the highest marriage rate and all that other stuff. Real quick to something that Nate said, I'm just looking at the chat, and I'm just going to respond to this. Okay. I was in Minnesota this past weekend for a funeral for my friend's daughter who was murdered. I won't even get into that or whatever, but nonetheless, when I was there, I saw all of these George Floyd murals. So to the person in the chat who happened to ask who's making him a hero, between the barbershop,
a folded flag that dead military people and dead policemen get.
Oh, you're exactly right. Now, that doesn't mean that he deserves to be dead and he died the way he did. But my thing, okay, so let me be clear about that. But we've already been clear about that. But the thing is why was he used as the symbol to catapult things? Okay. So this gets into the whole messaging. But then again, a lot of people don't want to understand this. They think it just all happenstance and it just happens like that. So that's all I'll say to that. And again, just back to the whole point of the topic. If you're taking care of your family and you're making sure your family is doing the best that it can and those within your outreach, you're doing enough to combat this. And that means, being mentally prepared and knowing how to defend yourself and having economic sustainability. You're doing enough to combat this racism thing. So again, no, it's okay. Yes, it's still relevant, but no, it's not a top 10 whatever issue. And we need to stop whenever we hear a racism. It bothers me. I'm gonna go personal again. It bothered me how more people reacted to the death of a criminal with a knife than the death of a girl who was murdered by her boyfriend. Okay. I mean, and I just can't, but one story is floated through the news cycle. And because we don't read newspapers anymore and people actually mock that in chats, I've actually seen we don't read newspapers or really digest and process things. We just see the clips on our phone or our computers of these news stories. It's just another nigga or niggas die every day, B. It's just treated as that. And we've come to now devalue life, except when a white person does it. But then people claim is white supremacy. And maybe it is so-called white supremacy because you see that as supreme death when a white person does it and not the person that supposedly shares your complexion.
Yeah, you're speaking to the fact that you hold this man in such high regard that when he kills one of you, it's time to flood the streets, right? But when you kill one of your own, doesn't matter even how old the victim is. 12 months old, young black man in New York, an infant was sitting in his grandma's backyard during the 4th of July in New York in 2020, shot in the chest, a 12-month-old boy. Not a peep, not a word, no long procession during the funeral for him. Nobody fucking cares. And why should anybody care about us as long as we don't give a shit about what we do to ourselves?
Exactly. And I think that's the question. That's the question. That's the question we need to ask: is why is the Black collective comfortable with hypocrisy? Why are we comfortable complaining about someone else doing something that we do to each other?
Because the white man is superior. And when he does it, we need to take to the streets. We need to stop we need to run 24-hour news programs on it. It needs to be the complete focus of every Black person's life when it happens. But when we do it to each other, when Black women go in and out of abortion clinics every day, it's no big deal. It's nothing that needs to be discussed. We got to get to the bottom of these 235 Black men that die at the hands of police every year. Forget the 350,000 dead Black children through abortion. That's no big deal. What does abortion have to do anything to do with it? Right.
And here's the last thing I'll say, and I'm gonna jump off. It seems if both white and Black people are capable of doing evil, then our issue is not one another, it's evil. So why aren't we fighting evil if we're both capable of doing it? You know, it's like they took the soul of people that designated a line between good and evil just so we can fight each other and ignore our own evils. All right, evil is inherent to being human, but when we fight each other, so when we fight each other, we're not fighting the true enemy, and that's the evil that everyone is capable of, and that starts with dealing with yourself. That's why they push victimhood. But y'all got it. I'm gonna jump off. I'm gonna listen in the sidelines.
I appreciate you, Brother Hulk, because we're gonna wrap this up in a few minutes. But I do wanna speak to something because I've been rather quiet tonight. I haven't said too much, and you know, people often say this. You hear this a lot when a brother gets killed by the police. You hear people say, "Well, no, he didn't deserve to die because of it." But see, what I think we jump over is that when the cop killed whoever, I don't think he was killing that person because of, you know, what they did 5 years ago or who they robbed 10 years ago. I mean, you got a cop who overexerted his authority. And I think to say, I believe, and I know people may not like this, but I think it's somewhat of a straw man argument to say, oh, well, he didn't deserve to die for it. Yes, we know that. I mean, that's just like a crazy argument to me to say, oh, this person didn't deserve to die because he robbed the bank. He didn't deserve to die because he was speeding. He didn't deserve to die because he stole something out of a store. No shit. We know that. We know that he didn't deserve to die for it. But I think what we often do is we try to connect it. We try to say that he died because he robbed the store. He died because he was speeding. He died because he stole the car. And that's not true. He didn't die because of that. He died because the cop overexerted his authority. He died because the cop felt the need to shoot the brother. He died because the cop ran him over, tased him, whatever it was. So I think we need to stop saying, oh, well, he didn't deserve to die over that. Because in theory, he didn't. He didn't die. George Floyd wasn't killed because he pointed a gun at a pregnant girl a while ago. He went to prison for that. All right. He died because this cop felt like he could put his life in his own hands and sink a knee in his neck. So we need to stop saying that, oh, he didn't deserve to die because of that. We know that already. And see, when people talk that deserve to die shit, because see, now I done got fired up. So y'all gonna have to bear with me a few minutes. When we talk about people who don't deserve to die, all right, and see, I keep this picture here because see, I have these babies here behind me, all right. Every single one of these babies that you see behind me was killed 4th of July weekend. In fact, little Natalie Wallace here, who's 7, by the way, I had her father on this stream talking about it. So I'm sick of people talking about what somebody didn't deserve to die over. Because you see these babies behind me, every single one of them is 8, 7, 6. Guess what? They were all murdered. And you know who they were not murdered by? The fucking police. They were murdered by one of them same Negroes. If they get shot by the police, y'all will be talking about they didn't deserve to die.
Exactly.
Well, God damn it, these babies behind me didn't deserve to die either. All right? Because they weren't doing anything. They didn't have a criminal record. They weren't running from the police. They hadn't stole a car. They were just being babies. They didn't deserve to die either. So quit talking that they didn't deserve to die over shit. Quit talking it. Because these little babies behind me, they didn't freaking deserve to die either. Notice I have these pictures on deck for these moments. I'm just saying. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and wrap up. We done got to like 3.5 hours up in here. So I'll go around the board for the brothers to give their parting shots. Whoever wants to go can
I'll go first. Appreciate you having me up, Xavier. Salute, Mr. Fantastic, Sir Tice, all the gentlemen that came up here. Man, it's disgusting. It's fucking disgusting. Not a goddamn peep for those children. No folded flags, no 24-hour news coverage, not a fucking peep about any of those children on MSNBC, CNN, not a fucking word. George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, all these stories that happened last year, those fucking people made a choice to live the type of life they chose to live. Now, to piggyback off what a brother Xavier said, George Floyd would not have died if he would have not constantly involved himself in criminal activity. If there were no reason for the police to ever interact with him, he would have never ended up dead that day. But that's never discussed either. Because we're supposed to be able to do whatever the fuck we want and never suffer any consequences for it. But those children hadn't made their decision in life yet. They never got the opportunity to decide which road they would head down. And they're not even worthy of a fucking mention by any of these disgusting fucking niggas who keep their heads buried in the issue of racism and white supremacy. You are an effeminate, fucking broken loser nigga. And I can't wait to draw all my attention on you boys. It's coming very soon. Appreciate it. Thank you, John.
Hold up, Nate. Before you go, God damn it, we talked today on the telephone, my brother.
Yes, sir.
You might as well go ahead and do that line now so I can clip this shit and use it on my shit next time.
Line, bro? I didn't even check my email yet.
Oh, damn. Well, hit me up tomorrow.
Okay,
right?
cool. Did you email me the
yes.
Okay,
I sent it.
Cool.
I sent it. Hit me up tomorrow.
I haven't done for you tomorrow, bro.
Yeah, hit me up
too.
too. I'll go next, and I'll leave it to the to the formal debater. Again, thank you, brother Zave. This is our first discussion this new year.
Yeah, when you coming back, man?
I knew you were in Florida. I knew you were in Florida. Yeah. I got something for you on the email on the fasting tip or what have you. But I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks. You know, I'm trying to figure out where I want to angle this or whatever. I
was in Florida, but I don't think I was down there where you were. I was in Tampa.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. It's good you weren't in Tampa this week or whatever. You know, it's even with COVID, they triple charge it on the rooms. But let's get back to this. Let me say this. Growing up, just very briefly, my parents used to tell me coming up, hey, you gonna have to be better or whatever, because this world ain't fair or whatever, and blah, 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 this. And I just kind of laughed at it or whatever, but I just did it because I didn't want them to yell at me. But then I realized that as I gotten older, you know, as you go into your teenage years and this, I'm like, okay. And it was because of that persistence that I'm not saying I didn't see racism, whatever. I kind of laughed at it like, oh, they got to rig the system or whatever for me. Now, this doesn't mean I'm some Robert Smith guy or anything like that. And I noticed a switch as I was getting older. People are raising their kids to be more coddled versus being more competitive. So regardless if racism is super relevant, not that relevant, whatever, what are you going to do about it? Now, what you can do about it is you can control your family and you can come up that way. Now, if you don't like what I'm saying, and okay, what's the opposite? You're going to plead to them and plead your concerns. I don't know any society, and I'm a student of history. I don't know any society where people came and begged to their so-called oppressors, and the oppressor said, you know what, you're right. We're going to give you some things without there being conditions that kept those people in charge. So thanks again for presenting this platform for us to express our thoughts, whether we agree or disagree. Zave, it's always good to hear both sides. Thanks to the village arsonist who, he's not here. And thanks to Mr. Fantastic, so I'll leave on that note. And thanks to the chat, even though some of y'all I disagree with, it's all good. It's all engagement. Much love, salute, and respect. Y'all have a good night.
Absolutely. Hit me up, brothers. Sartais. Hit me up, man.
We'll do, Zave.
All right, peace. Brother Fantastic. Parting shots.
Hey, man. As always, X, greatly appreciate you having me on, man. Listen, man, these people ask for these debates, and again, bro, everybody has a right to their opinion. But the thing about most opinions, bro, is you have no facts backing them up. They're just that. At the end of the day, if we're concerned with 2021, we're adult black men complaining about racism. What chance do we have, man? I don't like that. That's again a lack of focus, a lack of accountability, a lack of just wherewithal, or a lack of whatever. Because you are to say white supremacy is to give power, to say you are literally saying that a person is better than you based off of their skin color. All right. And if you want to say, oh, well, the debate was about racism. Well, okay, he went immediately from racism and he put it all on white people. Like there aren't Asian races, like there aren't Hispanic races. And that was the whole thing that I didn't even have to get to the debate. But if you had any common sense, that was why I kept bringing up the white thing, because he made it white. Racism is not exclusive to white people, to black people. There are plenty of other demographics. Hell, there are even Africans that are racist against black people. But because you have these grown men that are so emotionally attached to racism, they can't even see that. You can't see the forest for the trees. But as always, X, man, greatly appreciate you. Another win on the belt. Another one knocked up, man.
Absolutely.
And whenever you need me, man, just let me know. I'll come through. Thank you.
Oh yeah, my brother. Peace, man.
Yeah,
my man. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up, man. And I'm just gonna close out and say this, man. We talk a lot about racism and white supremacy. We hear it a lot, on the internet. Especially on YouTube and Facebook alike. And, we as black people, we all know that racism exists. All right. We all know that the white power structure exists. We all know that these things exist. All right. But something my father used to always tell me, look, son, what happens to you will never define you. He used to say, how you deal with what happens to you ultimately defines you, son. So as black people, we know racism exists, man. We know the white power structure exists. But I think in 2021, man, that is not our biggest issue. I don't think racism is our biggest issue. I just don't. All right. I mean, is it an issue? Yes, but I think it's down there, man. I think it's down quite a bit. It's got to be at least number 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, man. We have so many other things to deal with, you know. And likewise, racism will kind of seep its way into all of those other problems. But I think if we keep our eyes focused on how bad racism is and how bad white people are, I think when we focusing on that, we're not focusing on the other problems that are behind us, man. All right. I don't think we're focusing on the other problems that are behind us because we're staring at racism. We're staring at the white power structure and what it could do to us, what it did to our people in the past, or I should say, what it could potentially do to us. And me personally, I think that's the wrong way to go about it. All right. Fine. If you want to say white supremacy exists, fine. If you want to say racism is a big deal, fine. I just don't believe that is the thing to focus on. I don't think that your life should be based on it. I think that instead of using it as an excuse for failing, it should be a motivator for us to succeed. Because obviously we think racism is out there, right? We obviously think that the big white power structure boogeyman is out to get us, right? We obviously think that, right? So why not use it as a motivator to do better? Why not use it as a motivator to teach our children better? Why not use it as a motivator to have more? Because believe it or not, and y'all may disagree with this, the better you do for yourself, the less racism you're going to confront. Now, will you still confront some, discrimination and bigotry? Of course you will. Of course you will. But the better you situate yourself in life, the more you empower yourself, empower your family, empower your wallet, empower your damn mind, the more infinitesimal racism and the power structure becomes. I'm just saying. So I think we got to stop just harping on this racism stuff, man. We have to stop harping on what the white power structure is doing, man. Because no matter what we do, it's going to exist. Racism isn't going anywhere. There is no defeating racism, despite of what you see on TV. Despite of what you hear on the internet, racism isn't going anywhere. It's here to stay. The question is, how do we deal with it? I think that's the greater point. That's the greater question. Because if all we're going to do is stand around and harp on it and discuss how bad it is, that's just time wasted, man. I'd rather have a conversation about what the hell we're going to do with it. I'd rather have a conversation about how are we going to let this so-called racism and the white boogeyman, how do we take that and use that as a motivator to do better, man, to have more, to live better, so our children can live better? I think that's the better conversation. Fine, I'll give it to you. It exists. What you gonna do about it? That's all. But anyway, like I said, I'll remind y'all one last time. Tomorrow we will have the one and only the Bishop George Macon will be here tomorrow. I I have a lot of respect for Brother Macon. Now, mind you, I disagree with some of the things he says, but I can say that about every damn person on YouTube. And I'm pretty sure some of you who will be here tomorrow will disagree with Brother Macon as well. But I think it's going to be a good discussion. It'll be the first time Brother Macon has been on the T.P.O.T YouTube page. So I'm looking forward to having the discussion with the brother and chopping it up with him. And hopefully y'all, take some time out of your evening to stop by and check out what the brother got to say. He'll be here 9 p.m. Eastern time, right here on the T.P.O.T YouTube page. You Negroes know. So we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up, man. I'm not going to oh, you talking to Brother Macon right now? Yeah, man. Yeah, Brother Macon, man, gonna be up here tomorrow, boy. It's gonna be a good discussion, man. I got a lot of respect for Brother Macon. I just subscribed to one. I didn't even know he had multiple channels. I only thought he had the one channel. I just subscribed to one of his other channels, and I think he's got like 3 or 4 channels. I think I'm not even sure. I just found that out. I thought he had the one, but like I said, Brother Macon will be up in the house tomorrow, so make sure you Negroes are in the house as well. I like to thank, man, everybody for coming out tonight, man. Brother Hulk, my man Big Nate, Brother Chaos, Brother Sire Tice, and the OG J Speed came through tonight, and of course my 2 debaters, Brother TVA, the Village Arsonist, and my boy Brother Fantastic. Good shit tonight. Y'all called it for Brother Fantastic. Y'all say he won. We leave it at that. Y'all also said y'all want me to keep these debates going, because I said I was going to get rid of them, but the folks said, X, keep them. So I guess we'll be doing some more, man. In 2021, we'll see how it goes, one day at a time. But like I said earlier, I have some good stuff coming for y'all, man. I got some new people. I'm going to show y'all a few different looks. I'm going to have a few people on here that y'all may not be too familiar with. Y'all know we're going to still be doing Ask the Doc. We're going to do the ranks and roasts. We might even do one of those this Saturday. I'm not sure. Like I said earlier, man, for the last like 3 to 4 weeks, we haven't done anything. I went on vacation. Me and my wife, I took my wife, out of town, for almost 2 weeks, and got back here last week. And I was like, you know what? I ain't doing nothing till the following week, but we right back at it, man. And, we got some good stuff coming, man. Like I said, we still going to be throwing down with the debates, the Ask the Doc, and the Rank the Roast series. And I got some surprises for y'all, too. So, if you know what's good for you, stay tuned. All right? All right. So, I appreciate everybody coming out tonight, man. As always, man, it's always good to be up here with you good folks, man. It is always a pleasure, man. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate all the cash apps and the super chats tonight. Y'all know I do. I don't take it lightly. Why? Because I don't take you good folks lightly. I don't. Now, mind you, I may disagree with some of your black asses, but I do not disrespect you. All right? All right. So, with that, I will leave you with 3 words like I always do. Open your mind.
Hours of power. Hours of power. Hours of power. Hours of power.
And so a community is where you control your police, you control your commerce, you control your education, you control your house. We don't control none of that. we live in a hood. Huh? Well, what about the Negroes that get out? Oh, well, say, my cousin, they say he's a multi-millionaire, almost got $1 billion.
The Popular Thought
3
Series.
PhDs, working on 2 more. Driving down the street in Chicago in his Rolls Royce, enjoying himself, and he hears these sirens and looks through the mirror and sees this cop car flashing lights. He squeezed the steering wheel, man. Heart beats fast. Because he knows the price of a Negro, what it could be. And then when that cop car passed him by, he said, thank God he wasn't after you in the first place, punk. That Negro thing you can't get away from. It's universal. They wasn't coming after you. With all your millions, with your Rolls Royce, with your PhD, didn't help. That's the hood. Why do you think you never pick up the paper 3D over and over and see white families travel? You think it's thousands of black cops in America. Why don't you see white families crying as black cops got my loved one 42 times in the back of the head? Why do you think black cops don't do that? You think they're more spiritual? Think they're better? No! They got enough sense to know that white folks ain't gonna tolerate it. And I will stop in our neighborhood when we decide we will not tolerate it. Now, if we was organized, which is hard to organize people who are just gonna run crazy and you don't know you're crazy. But if we were, with the money we have, and the many people who would come to our aid that don't know what it's like to be a Negro, and we said, if we said, look, we saying, if we don't get a federal law to deal with police brutality, that anytime a cop or anybody carry a gun, have to have a license just like you do to drive a car. And if you use it wrongly, you'll lose your license. And if it's upheld, you can never work again as a cop or a store guard or a private detective. How do you get Congress to push that through? Well, you take your economic power and you call on your friends, black, white, young and old, and say, this coming Christmas, if we don't have a federal law to outlaw police brutality by law, then we call them for a nationwide boycott of Christmas and it'll start on Thanksgiving. Well, let me tell you what that means. 79% of all retail in America happens between Thanksgiving and Christmas. People stay in business all year, lose money just for Christmas, huh? Well, what happens now? Saks Fifth Avenue, Toys R Us, Sears and Roebuck, Westinghouse. They will get the bill, and all they got to do is make one phone call and say, Harry, that's the senator, I want that bill pushed through in 3 days. Okay, it's an economic thing. It's that simple. But we have the power, but the system has wiped us out so bad.
Hours of power. Hours of power. Hours of power.
Happy. San Lincoln 6. Go ahead. We have a suspect down, 10-4. That's 10-4. The officer's code 4. We have one suspect that's been shot.
Open your mind.
Only from the Prophet of Thought Series Media.
You know.
Open your mind. 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 Open your mind.